really great sleep.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex saline from Vicks.
Sinex saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
We have a cold front that's cutting across St. Louis this afternoon. There'll be a couple of fast showers around. It's windy. I think we've primarily hit the high for the day. We'll see a slow drop now as we go through the afternoon. Clear, windy, and cold tonight. 38. Friday, sunny, windy, 51. Saturday, partly sunny. A couple of snow flurries and sprinkles around 43. Sunday, sunny and 38. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Don't freeze as it gets colder. If your furnace isn't working, Air Comfort Service can get you back in your comfort zone fast with a service call for only $99. Get your furnace serviced. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Rain.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM
The
Talk.
budget is a stunning record high, $127 billion for fiscal year 27. It includes cuts to the New York Police Department, rent freezes, and increased spending on migrants. $1.2 billion for that last one. For comparison here, the mayor's proposal is nearly $10 billion more expensive than the entire budget of the state of Florida, even though that state has 3 times NYC's population. Look at the screen. The Wall Street Journal editorial board had some choice words for the mayor. Here's a quote. Mr. Mamdani's attempt to extort Ms. Hochul over taxes is part of a broader battle in the Democrat Party. If he prevails, expect more Democrats to imitate his class warfare and hostage-taking. First of all,
Yikes, don't do that. Please don't do that. No bueno. We have a mayor in New York City, Zoran Mamdani, who has done, I don't know how you watch what he's doing in New York City and be shocked by it. You got a guy who is I don't even think communist sympathizer is accurate enough. I mean, he's absolutely a communist sympathizer. He is promising to redistribute wealth as like really the main goal of the policy. Elected, and when he's elected, he starts doing the things that I would expect him to do. This is a poll today on the Annie Fry YouTube channel, and we want your text message feedback as well. 314-241-9797. What's your reaction to New York City Mayor Mamdani's tenure so far? Because when I see these stories, I've kind of kept several of these stories just really at a arm's length. I've had folks, listen, I live in the state of Illinois, as you know, and when people start complaining from within Illinois about their politics to people in like, I don't know, a state of Missouri, they're like, dude, this is what you get. You live in Illinois. This is what you should expect. This is how you should predict it's going to be. Don't like it, move. That's generally speaking the mood that is imparted upon folks like us who live in Illinois. This is just the way it is in the state of Illinois. Now, New York City has taken it to a new level by electing Zoran Mamdani to be the mayor. But it's not as if there seems to be a bait and switch here, at least not to my understanding, in the way he said he was going to run should he get elected. That doesn't mean that the people in New York City, though, don't feel as though there's a little bit of a bait and switch. Our question to you today, assuming that the vast majority of you folks listening here in the bi-state region, center, heart of the country, right in the Midwest, are not subjected to Zoran Mamdani's policies, you are a safe distance away, especially if you're in Missouri. Your reaction to his tenure so far, Are you disgusted by it? Do you see what's going on and you're just like repulsed by it? Like, I can't believe that's happening. It disgusts me to see a city that is, number one in the country, that is a destination for people from around the globe, but certainly for here within the United States, New York City, to be turned over into this type of governance. Does it disgust you? Does it make you sad? I know there are people listening right now. I can think of your faces and your names in my head who have lived in New York City, who have loved New York City, and you're watching what's happening, and it just makes you sad. Some of you might be supportive. Love to hear from you. My prediction at the end of this poll is 3 to 4% of you will show up and ensure that supportive gets a few votes, maybe more, maybe less. And then the last one is amused. And this is the one that I'm most interested in seeing, because there are Zoran Mamdani stories every day that come out. There are new facets of his administration. And considering that we're talking about a mayor of a city, how much of that actually affects your life in Afton? How much of this affects your day-to-day in Belleville? My feeling on it, at least, is that it's kind of a siren call for us to pay attention to. Look, this could happen in New York City. Could it happen here? Maybe, maybe not. It exists. It's real. It's happening here in the United States of America. It's happened in other cities across the country to an extent, but New York City, now that's something that's got my attention. But I see this reaction online quite a bit when reflecting on the things that Zoran Mamdani is doing to New York City. There are people who just kind of are laughing at them, that you're amused by it. That's the last option. Are you amused by what's going on in New York City? Do you think that the New York City voters are getting exactly what they deserve, and you find it to be quite funny? Be curious to know how you feel about this when you can text us your thoughts at 314-241-9797. I didn't put it in here, but I'd love to know if you were completely uninterested, disinterested, couldn't care less, don't need to hear Mamdani's name ever again. Here's a resident who speaks kind of positively, sort of, like it doesn't seem. I watch these videos because I want to bring them to you every single day, and I can hardly ever do it because the language is not FCC appropriate. But this is a man walking through the streets of New York City, and he's talking about who Mamdani was going to be and what he is turning out to be. Listen to him.
Mamdani, this guy's been mayor of New York City for 1 month. Okay, what he promised was a free bus for everybody. Grocery stores run by the government for, poor people to get food, which is a good thing, I think. And that rent was going to go down. Those were like the big three things he promised everybody. So today he's got his first meeting with the city about the budget. And what he says is, I'm raising property taxes on everybody by 10%, okay? Rent's not going to go down, actually. He's draining $1 billion from the rainy day fund, which I don't even know what that is, but it doesn't sound good. And none of the free stuff that he promised is actually happening.
That sounds like a conversation in our house about our budget. It's going to drain the rainy day fund. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't sound good. Yeah, yes. You're going to want to start paying attention to things like rainy day funds, because the rainy day fund has your tax dollars in it. Well, it did, at least in New York City. How are we going to watch as a country, New York City, go through this, let's dabble in some communism. Let's see what kind of socialism we can inject further into New York City. How do you feel about that? Do you have a visceral reaction to it? Are you completely indifferent to it? One of the things that people need to understand about New York City specifically is that he's threatening to do all of these things to his residents if Kathy Hochul, the governor, doesn't abide by raising taxes across the state. And guess what Kathy Hochul needs to do? Win re-election. This year, I believe. She's running for re-election, and Mamdani is saying this is what you're going to do or else. And who gets the brunt of his or else? His residents, the people who he is serving as mayor. I think it's really like, okay, so when we go on vacation with my kids, this happens. I remind them all the time. we were just going to a basketball game the other day, and it was at my son's school, and, the parents and the kids have to pay admission to get in. And if you're a student at the school, the kid gets in free. But there's tuition involved. And I say this when we go on vacation and there's something that is, part of the package. You get to go get, free soda or unlimited refills on whatever. And they're like, oh, they're free. I'm like, children, they are included. Because it's not free, because nothing's really free. You're paying for it. You're paying for something greater. And then the perks that come along with that don't have to be paid for each time, but it is certainly included in the price of admission. And boy, New York City has gotten a huge price of admission. It's kind of, I'm not an economist, so I can't break this down in a nuts and bolts and charts and graphs kind of way. But isn't it interesting that Donald Trump on the global stage is using the strength and the might of the American individual, the capitalist, the free market, the taxpayer? He's using the strength and the might of the American economy to negotiate around the world for what? For more opportunity for America to succeed. And he's putting America first in those negotiations. Yes, some of you listening right now despise Donald Trump and you think what I just said is a bold-faced, blatant lie. I disagree with you on that, but I thank you for being here and listening. When Donald Trump takes the strength and the might of the American economy on the global stage and uses that as a way to flex his muscle and strong arm better deals for the American people, America wins. It seems to me like Mayor Mamdani is using the strength and the might of the New York City economy, flexing its muscles against the very people of New York City for the purpose of strength of government. That's where we have a huge problem. That's where we run into something that I think that voters who wanted everything to be free but didn't understand it's not free, it's included. The price of admission for socialism, for communism, is way too high of a price to pay. That's why people don't do it. And New York City being maybe like one of the main capitals on the face of the planet of free market capitalism being flipped on the script just the way it is right now, big problems ahead. I go back to the YouTube poll. Do you care? How do you feel about it? We're asking you to go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel and to vote. Leave us your comments, but also text us. We love getting your text messages at 314-241-9797. Throw that number in your phone, save it, text the Annie Fry Show. It also works for the other shows, too. 314-241-9797. What is your reaction to New York City Mayor Mamdani's tenure so far? Are you disgusted, saddened, supportive, or amused? Go vote. Tell us what you think. Now, let's talk a little bit here real quick about getting some common sense back to a different super blue area. How about the state of Illinois? Did you hear today that the Chicago Bears might no longer be the Chicago Bears? And I don't mean just in location. I mean potentially in name also. Indiana has made a sweet offer, and it looks as though there's been a big step forward in moving the Bears out of Chicago into Indiana. And this is ripe prime time for somebody with some common sense to challenge this governor who has bungled every single common sense opportunity he has. For people like you in the state of Illinois, taxpayers like you in the state of Illinois, to not be oppressed by your governor and your governance, Ted Dabrowski would like to win a primary and challenge J.B. Pritzker in November for that position as governor. Now, he's got to win a primary first, and we've had a lot of guests on this show, including Darren Bailey and others, who are looking to win that primary. But Ted Dabrowski is going to be in studio with us when we come back to tell you why you can go vote for him. Voting is open right now, folks. It's Illinois. You can pretty much vote anytime. Ted Dabrowski in studio running for the Republican nomination for governor next.
Join me September 30th as we discover the charm of Switzerland, Austria, and Germany with Colette Travel. Spend 4 nights in Bern and then 4 nights at the foot of the Alps in Innsbruck. From the cobblestone streets to the postcard-worthy mountain landscapes of the amazing Alps, we're going to explore the Swiss capital of Bern and lovely Lucerne, the Swiss paradise on the lake. We'll travel the Austrian countryside to Salzburg with a visit to Mozart's birthplace, and then Mirabelle Gardens featured in The Sound of Music. This and so much more. Colette handles all the details. The flights, the meals, the hotels, the local experiences. All you have to do is have the time of your life. Don't miss this trip. Meet me and the folks from Colette to learn more at the Lodge at De Pere, Tuesday, February 24th at 2 p.m. Call Colette at 800-581-8942 or go to 971talk.com/events for details.
Imagine this, a summer evening, relaxing under a beautiful porch overhang, hosting your friends on a composite deck, or enjoying a bug-free breeze in a screened room. That sounds dreamy, right? Hi, it's Kim, and that dream can be your reality with Lakeside Renovation and Design because they specialize in creating outdoor spaces that make your backyard the go-to spot for family and friends. And with their attention to detail and the high-quality materials they use, you'll have a space that lasts for years. Visit lakesideRD.com today to get started on your outdoor oasis.
Surprise!
Surprise!
You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
All right. It seems like this weather is going to continue. The cold weather is going to continue here in St. Louis and Illinois for the foreseeable future to finish out the winter. Now, if you have been unlucky or you don't want to wait till you're unlucky and you need your furnace fixed or even replaced, call me. We can get you a furnace next day. Sometimes we, depending on the manufacturer, it's not us, but just depending on the manufacturer, if they have the parts available, and here in St. Louis or Illinois, we can get you that day. But either way, if you're having problems with your furnace or you want to prevent problems with your furnace, call me, Bart Inman. One easy number, the easiest number in Missouri and Illinois, just one number. That number is 314-293-2600. Again, 314-293-2600, or on the internet, it's Bart Inman. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
The Annie Fry Show is St. Louis conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Glad to be with you this afternoon, and we have a guest in studio. I'm excited to talk to Ted Dabrowski, back with us here, the Republican candidate for governor of Illinois, president of WirePoints, previously vice president of policy and spokesman for the Illinois Policy Institute. Ted has been coming on the Annie Fry Show since I was doing Saturdays, and a really great guest to have on. When Ted, it was like, I think one of the reasons why I was able to cut into this space in St. Louis Talk Radio was because I was the only person here talking about Illinois.
Well, there's a lot of material to talk about Illinois, especially over the last few years, right? And
yes.
The decline we've had.
100% a lot of news to talk about. And really, truly, the thing of it that was always compelling for me was to be able to reach out to you, Ted, and you had numbers. You just had facts behind what are we doing in the state of Illinois? Why are we behaving this way? We are careening off of a fiscal cliff, and nobody seems to be paying attention to it. And now, Ted, you're in studio with us here on the Annie Fry Show, and you're running for governor.
Well, yeah, I kept watching. I kept, just seeing how the state kept going downhill, 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 and we weren't winning the arguments. And I got a little worried. Know what the truth is, especially in today's world, right, with AI and all that. So I always felt like the facts are a great starting point. And, every time you look at Illinois data, we're at the bottom of the list for where we should be. And so I thought, well, let's make that clear, and then let's make compelling arguments of how we fix it.
So how long have you been working? I would say, and you can correct me here, but I would say that your expertise, the thing that you bring to the table in this race, Ted Drosski, WirePoints, Illinois Policy Institute, that you have been looking at problems and potential solutions for way longer than you were interested in being the guy who would have to lead and implement them. So you seem to be solution-oriented.
Yeah, for 15 years I've been doing this with Illinois Policy Institute and WirePoints. But it's even more interesting than that, or deeper than that. The 15 years before that, I was in finance, in banking, and I was in Mexico for 6 years and in Poland for 9. And so in Poland, which was an amazing experience, that's after the wall came down, I was working with the Polish government, with the Polish, with the banking, with all the major companies to bring back Poland into the free world, into the free markets. And so we did massive amounts of work to solve problems there. And if you can imagine the problems in Poland after communism, it was destroyed, and we got to bring back free markets, individual freedom.
That's the best resume for fixing Illinois. You fixed Poland after communism. He can handle Illinois.
Yeah. Well, I did my small part.
You were there.
Yeah,
they invited you to the party.
Yeah.
What's the biggest problem facing Illinois right now?
Well, I mean, if you want structural, we just have a kind of a corrupt government. That's the bottom line. We have a bunch of I hate to say it, but a bunch of hacks, and I put Governor Pritzker in that. If you listen to his speech yesterday, he's dishonest. These politicians take control of our government. They don't tell the truth. They use it for their own purpose, political purpose, and we've gotten trapped into where the entire government almost is that way, and we've got way too much pay to play. And we have to end it. That's why I like the data. I like the transparency. Let's show people the truth and let the people make decisions based on the truth.
You said the word corruption, or at least started to say that. I know Ryan. He wants every penny of corruption and fraud rooted out. I heard somebody, I think it was on maybe Outnumbered this morning on Fox News, that said we got to stop calling ourselves taxpayers and start calling ourselves fraud payers, because we're paying for all the fraud that's taking place. And I thought, gosh, yes. And how much of it is happening in the state of Illinois?
Oh yeah, and I think we're number one for that in the country. I mean, of course,
number one.
Yeah, we have competition with New Jersey and California, right? But I'd say we're number one. And yeah, when you're paying the highest taxes in the country, we've talked about that, highest property taxes, highest gas tax, or second highest gas taxes. When you're always that state, it's really, really bad. It's all fraud. Oh, I shouldn't say all fraud. Much of it is fraud. Much of it is waste. Much of it is the power of the unions to extract that, the public sector unions to extract that from our lawmakers. And there you go. We have we're paying out the wazoo in fraud.
Yeah.
Ted Dabrowski, I know that Illinois needs major changes. I'm not trying to gloss over that. But I also know that a governor on day one, such as yourself, you've said before, there are things you could do day one that could get our fiscal house in order pretty quickly, and that sounds like one of them. You could root out things that are just being mismanaged, fraud, pay to play you mentioned. If you just get rid of that stuff, are we still in the dire financial straits that we're actually in? I know we need changes, but maybe that's a start.
Well, I think we have to start. And that, again, these problems have been going on for decades now, right? So I don't want to pretend like they're going to be solved just like that. But however, you start with the sunshine. You put the sunshine on the fraud. You expose it. And, and again, I talked about this last time, but, what the heck is the Dalton superintendent superintendent of the Dalton Public Schools? He makes $525,000 a year, and only 19% of the kids can read. That's part of the corruption we have. And I use that as an example, but there's a whole bunch of other examples like that.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we're speaking with Ted Dabrowski. Go to tedforillinois.com. He is a candidate for governor of Illinois. Now, it's important that everybody understands that in Illinois, March 17th is the date of the primary. So we will pick who we want to run and represent us for our party, be it Republican or Democrat, by March 17th. But when I say by March 17th, I mean you can actually go in person right now on your lunch break and cast a vote for the primary candidate that you prefer. Early voting is something that is actually in front of the Supreme Court, or late voting, I guess, is right now because of Congressman Mike Boss and his lawsuit why are we taking in mail-in ballots for weeks after the election happens? I think, Ted, that the thing that Illinois residents, when we talk about 80-20 issues, Republicans and Democrats alike, the money is where the 80-20 issues, the 90-10 issues exist. But also, there is a known acceptance in Illinois, in Chicago, the Chicago way, that things are just going to go a certain kind of way. And there is not a damn thing that anybody can do about it. Is that true?
Well, it's true. But the reason it keeps happening is because we're not fighting hard enough. We haven't united enough. I always say that we let these things happen because we let these things happen. I mean, when you have all this boys and girls sports and DI in our schools, it's because we failed to stand up, whatever it was 15, 20 years ago. We let it slip in there. We didn't unite. We didn't fight back. And so that's what we're trying to do now. I think overall with Trump, of course, it's gotten a lot better. We're fighting back. But man, to root it out, it's going to be a continuous battle. And that's why I talk about sunshine. That's why I talk about exposing, getting that stuff out there and exposing until everybody's aware of just how bad it is and where it needs to be taken out of.
Ted Dabrowski speaking with us right now. You can learn more about him on his website at tedforillinois.com. On socials at Ted for Illinois. He is the Republican candidate for governor of Illinois. And if you support Ted, you need to vote for him now or by March 17th. My encouragement is to go get that vote logged. If you have a free lunch today, tomorrow, go vote. What do you think about the early voting?
Well, right now I like early voting because
you're running.
Because we're running and because that's the law.
Yeah.
And because the Democrats have beat us at that game. My favorite is election day voting, paper ballots. Man, that's where we need to go back to one day. And I'll tell you, this has become a joke here, and I don't know if you've heard, but my name is misspelled in Champaign.
Yes.
Those ballots are being fixed from what I understand, but I need to see the proof of it. And then we've got another candidate who has not been certified to be on the ballot, who's on the ballot in 5 counties, Joe Severino. And so you've got this mess now. We have 3 different ballots in the state. It's not uniform. And the real reason why is because Pritzker and the legislature have made a mess of it.
Is that intentional?
Oh,
or just they don't care?
Well, sloppy, you can call it. There's people who think it's intentional. I can't. There's no way I can guess. But I can tell you this, when you extend the voting season, which is what we have, we went from voting day to voting season. It gets longer and longer. It's long time before the election day, and then it's 2 weeks after, as you mentioned with Mike Boss' suit. And extending voting by mail, that has become a joke. The State Board of Election has no idea what it's doing anymore. It can't control the clerks. The clerks can't keep up. They misspell ballots. They put people who shouldn't be on the ballot. That's how corrupt this thing is.
So it's a joke to J.B. Pritzker when he goes on Colbert and he's throwing a hissy fit temper tantrum like a toddler about redistricting in Texas. And Colbert's like, look at your map. My district, the one that I live in, is that snake-like finger thing, the Illinois 13, that they snake through every college town to try to squeeze out one blue district out of southern Illinois. And J.B. Pritzker's only response to us, we had a kindergartner draw it, and he laughed about it, and then they just moved on.
They just blew it off, right?
Yeah.
Ted Dabrowski, how are you feeling about the primary right now? Because I live in Collinsville. Obviously, we're downstate right here. I'm seeing your signs more and more, even since the last time we talked to you.
I'd like to hear that. Okay.
But I'm sure you have a lot of metrics and analytics. And are you doing better in certain parts of the state, worse in others? How are you doing?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say we are the campaign with the momentum, and it started when we started running ads during the Bears playoff games, and that was pretty fun. And since then, we've been running ads. We've got I think the most expansive campaign. We've got people on the ground. Of course, I'm an outsider. I've never run for office, and so my name ID is not where I want it to be yet, but this is the time when everybody's looking. We just started running a new ad attacking Pritzker pretty hard for many of his failures, his people, that ad. And so I think we're doing really well, but it's a catch-up game because Darren Bailey has the name ID from the past election where he had all that money spent on him. So it's a catch-up game, and I think we're doing great. I love all the endorsements we're winning. Wherever we're head-to-head with Darren, we're winning those endorsements, and it's a good sign. But again, we have to keep getting our name known in the places where we're less known.
Well, that name is Ted Dabrowski, and you can learn more at tedforillinois.com. We've talked in this segment about Illinois, ways to get it fixed. I want to talk a little bit more about what Ryan kind of led us into there, which is the campaign. It's always frustrating to me when I'm talking to candidates and they forget to talk about the people of Illinois first. And I appreciate you coming in here and being willing to focus on the problem that needs to be solved as a problem for the people of Illinois, the taxpayers, those people who want a fair shake. They want to be able to come to the state of Illinois, live in the state of Illinois, or like me and many people like me, stay home in the state of Illinois and have a fair shot. And we have not had a fair shot. It has been corrupt. It has been taken from us. There's not a penny that this governor does not feel that he can take from you because he's entitled to it. And we need something to change. Ted Dabrowski wants to be the person to do that. Let's talk a little bit more specifically about the campaign, your opponent in the primary, of course, your opponent in the midterm, should you win the primary, when we come back here on the Andy Fry Show. Don't go away. Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage, the bagel loan guy, making your economic situation with your mortgage better. If you call him, 314-324-4440. I'm probably not supposed to tell this to you, but there have been times I've called him and been like, Stu, I think I need your help. We sit down, he talks to me about my situation, and he's like, you know what, I actually don't think you need to use this right now. Why don't you do that? So he gives me solid advice. I know he's not taking advantage of me, and I know he's not going to take advantage of you. He's got the best deal in the game. Now, a bagel loan at Stewart's American Mortgage is where you get a brand new mortgage, because you're purchasing a new home. You get a refinance, a cash-out refinance. When you qualify for the bagel loan, and you probably will, it's going to come with no closing costs. So that mortgage is going to be improved for you. Your monthly payment's going to be improved. Maybe you keep your payment right where it is and shave off years on the length of your loan. Think about that. Or maybe you drop that interest rate because they've come down since you made your last purchase. 314-324-4440. Call or text 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Hey guys, are you dealing with low energy weight gain or issues in the bedroom? Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, and they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. Get in, get answers, get back to the top of your game. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Again, that's GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
All right, the YouTube live chat poll today, I don't know if we talked about it yet. Well, topically we have, but the poll is, what is your reaction to New York City Mayor Mamdani's tenure so far? Disgusted, saddened, supportive, or amused? Those are your four options. Let us know which one you think you are at this point, or at least what's driving that decision. You can leave a comment as well. 12:35. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Consistently right.
It's a ritual.
97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. So we are here at visiting in studio with our friend Ted Dabrowski. Now, I've been talking to Ted for years and years on this show because he has worked with Illinois Policy Institute. He's the president of WirePoints, and he has been the person who's been looking for reasonable solutions to help people who are making these decisions fix the state of Illinois. And what I always appreciated from Ted was simply the fact that he was considering that there could be solutions for the state of Illinois. Thank you for being that person. Let's listen a little bit to yesterday, 2026 State of the State address from Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. It's not working again. Something is going on with our system here. You had Governor Pritzker go out there. He mentioned Donald Trump 9 times. What does Donald Trump have to do with the success or failure of the state of Illinois? Because really, if I'm thinking about it, for the majority of J.B. Pritzker's last term there, maybe the majority of his whole term, you had Joe Biden be the president of the United States. Ted Dabrowski, your thoughts on J.B. Pritzker and his State of the State yesterday? Well, State of the State is, I almost ignore his State of the State. He's done, he's had 8 budgets, and the facts are the facts. We're a bottom 5 state for job creation, for economic growth, for wage growth, highest property taxes, second highest gas taxes. He owns the mess after 7 years of running this state. He can say whatever he wants at these budget addresses, but they mean nothing because they only means record spending and record taxes. He keeps raising taxes every time to balance these budgets. So I no longer pay attention to what he says. I look at the data, and he's destroyed Illinois. He's making the life of many Illinoisans really, really tough. Does J.B. Pritzker, is what Illinois looks like right now, 2 terms in, is this J.B. Pritzker's dream for Illinois, where it is right now? When he ran in 2018, and I was here on 2018 midterm night for the rest of the country. There was a Missouri Senate race. I think Josh Hawley was running, so we had a lot going on in a bi-state region here. And I was the one who was watching to see if Rauner was going to win re-election. And we were going to start coverage at 7. And Ted, I got in that door, and I got to where you're standing, and Fox News called it. I didn't even get to my microphone. Wow. So he got this mandate from the state of Illinois. They're like, no, we're doing J.B. Pritzker. Right. 8 years later, is this what he wanted for the state of Illinois? I think it is. I mean, look, he first of all, he's totally dishonest, right? Most of what he says about what's happening here is a lie. What he wanted is, look, he cares more about illegal immigrants than he does about our residents. He cares more about criminals than he does about victims. He cares more about the Chicago Teachers Union than he cares about our kids. He cares more about attacking family rights, religious rights, parents' rights. I mean, he's been doing all that, right? And he doesn't care about life because he's made Illinois the abortion capital of the Midwest. Yeah. He's done the assisted suicide. I mean, think about those things he's done. That's what he wanted, and that's what he got. And he doesn't care about the financial stuff. He's got control, and sadly, this is why we have to kick him out, because he's destroying this amazing state. Right? We should be a top 5 state, as I've talked in the past. Yes. We should be one of the best states, and look at what he's done to us. Not just fiscally, but culturally. He's destroyed the social fabric, and it's on him, and that's why we need to boot him out. Yeah, I think he's been successful in his own right, and such a destruction for the state of Illinois. You're listening to Ted Dabrowski in studio here on the Annie Fry Show. Republican candidate for governor of Illinois. You can go vote today at your voting place. They have early voting open, so you can go in person and vote for your choice for governor, for the primary, to figure out who's going to challenge J.B. Pritzker there in December. You have to get through the primary before you can challenge J.B. Pritzker. Darren Bailey ran last year. The last time. Yeah. Or last time, yes, correct. Thank you. And he was not successful. I have worked for years and years with Darren Bailey. I know he cares deeply about the state of Illinois, but last time he fell short. It wasn't close enough last time for, I think, people to look at that and go, ooh, just a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But he's running again, which, he's stepped in and he's willing to pick up the mantle and try to get the ball down the field. Why Ted Dabrowski and not Darren Bailey? Yeah, listen, I supported Darren Bailey strongly. I like Darren. I support him with WirePoints, all the data we had, the arguments. Have you endorsed him before? Well, I didn't endorse him because I was at WirePoints. It was 501c3, so sure. I had to be smart. But I gave him, I gave him all the WirePoint stuff that was public, helped him with arguments, and I helped him as a private citizen. But WirePoints being the president, that was tricky. Yeah. And and we were known for being unbiased as WirePoints. So I supported Darren Bailey strongly. Yeah, but when he lost by 35 points. In Cook County, the suburbs, it was just way too much, and he just didn't have the appeal there. So
I just said, and that's one of the decision factors I made. So I said, I'm running. He was not in. But Darren, I think, it doesn't have the appeal. I think also he's been there now for a while. He's run several times. He ran against Mike Boss as well. He lost that. So I think he doesn't have the power to beat Pritzker. He doesn't have the game. He's not building the game plan this time around. He ran a better campaign last time. He was bigger. This time he's much weaker. Hasn't raised the money. So.
A lot of people up north in Chicago, Cook County, which you have to win, the 67% or whatever of the state's population and votes are in Cook County. So Illinois folks listening to me right now in Southern Illinois, if you want to better Illinois, you need to lock arms with Chicago in order to do it. We need 25% of Cook County to vote red, and we have a statewide Republican. The pitch that both Aaron Del Mar and Darren Bailey have made here on the Annie Fry Show when talking to our listeners is that the Darren Bailey, Aaron Del Mar dichotomy, they're very opposite people. A lot of people hear Darren Bailey speak. He sounds Southern, and he's a farmer. All of these are great things. And we have been pitched on Aaron Del Mar as the hand that reaches into Cook County. Is that going to work?
Well, I don't think so. Aaron ran with Gary Rabine last time 4 years ago, and the combined the Rabine Del Mar ticket only got 6.5% of the vote. So that wasn't good. And I think Aaron's been part of the establishment, Cook County establishment, for more than 15 years. And if you look at Cook County Republican platform, it's just not there anymore. He hasn't put up candidates. So I think he's very weak there. And what's interesting is that I've been winning a lot of the endorsements in his neck of the woods, where he is the Cook County Republican chair. I've been winning the endorsements of Wheeling Township and groups like that. So these are his very own groups. So,
Ted Dabrowski, I want a Republican governor in Illinois. That's my main issue. Who is J.B. Pritzker most nervous about running against in this primary?
Well, I think he has to be against me. I'm from Cook County. My running mate's from Cook County, so we have a good appeal there. We know how to talk about the issues in the area. I'm also the person who can build a broader coalition, being half Latino, half Polish, and speaking. My Spanish is fluent. My Polish is sloppy, but I'm reaching out to the ethnic groups. Being able to reach out to the Slavic groups, the Romanians, the Ukrainians, very powerful. Being able to go to the Hispanic evangelical churches and talking to them. I've been doing that, and they're amazing. They're so conservative, family-oriented. They hate Pritzker. They want something different. And so,
we're all the same inside.
Yeah, so we can build the coalition, the Dabrowski Mendoza coalition, and Carrie, of course, being of Jewish background, she can also pull in the people who are upset with what Pritzker has done and how he's just made a mess of many things. So I think we've got the coalition that can actually take on Pritzker. We just have to get to that finish line on March 17th. I
want to talk to you a little bit more about what's going on in Chicago, because there are some major news headlines popping right now about the Chicago Bears. Tom Bevan says, is it possible that Illinois Democrats have managed to run the Bears out of Chicago? Another report sources an announcement is expected tomorrow in Ways and Means that the Chicago Bears have agreed to relocate to Hammond, Indiana. No formal confirmation yet. Are the Chicago Bears going to cease being the Chicago Bears under Governor J.B. Pritzker?
I think there's a very good chance, and I have no idea. I've got no privy information to what's happening. But when you think about it, when you can lose the Caterpillar headquarters, you're Illinois, and you lose the Caterpillar headquarters. When you lose the Boeing headquarters, when you lose Ken Griffin and the Citadel, when you lose Tyson Foods, when you lose Morton Salt, these are amazing, huge companies that Governor Pritzker couldn't keep here with better policies. That's the real issue, right? So if the Bears leave, it's not because of this one deal. It's because this place isn't hospitable.
It's toxic.
It's toxic. It's not, and look, we haven't even talked about, Brandon Johnson, right? That's another thing scaring people away. And this is, again, Pritzker and Johnson are joined at the hip. They have the same. They may not act the same way, but they are the same guys when you talk about their underlying philosophy. So this is what we have, and this is why we have to be so urgent at getting Pritzker out of office. We have to unite and get Pritzker out.
I want to know, Ted Dabrowski, your plan for making Illinois a destination to get those companies back, or if that ship has sailed, other companies that need a place to go and build and grow and thrive. How does Illinois become a destination for business relocation and not just abortion?
Exactly. And we've become the abortion tourism capital. Look, it's pretty easy, actually, and I don't mean to diminish how hard this work will be, but We are the 6th largest state. We're the amazing state smack in the middle of the country. We know all the assets. We have this amazing land. We got the confluence of the two rivers down here. We've got the amazing Chicago economic engine. We have everything we need to be a top 5 state. And the reason we're not is because we talked about the corruption and all the debts. We have to start addressing the debts. So, I have a plan for that, 401k style plans for all new government workers. It's what's fair, it's what's constitutional, it's what's legal, and it's better for government workers, and it's better for the people of Illinois. So there's a lot we can do.
And then the last question I have before we have to let you go, Ted Dabrowski is speaking with us right now, a Republican candidate for governor in Illinois. Voting is open. You can vote in person right now, but the deadline, the actual primary day, is March 17th. If you want to learn more about Ted, to vote for him, to support him financially, that's always the name of the game in politics. We all know that. TedForIllinois.com. I am very aware of the likelihood of a supermajority of Democrats remaining in the General Assembly. If we weren't able to shave off a rep or senator or two, I think there'd still be a supermajority of Democrats. Right. So that we're going to set aside. 2 things. You're going to have to potentially work with Democrats to get Illinois back on track. Secondly, you're going to have the power of the office of the governor. There have to be things that you can do to get Illinois back on track without having to make these far left crazies in the General Assembly Democratic Party to go along with it. Are you willing to act as governor and the executive authority to do those things? And do you think that there are ways that you can meet with Democrats across the aisle to get even more done?
Yeah, so number one is, absolutely. This is going to be a 4-year campaign. When I win, it's going to be a 4-year campaign to keep converting independents and disenfranchised Democrats, centrists, to our side to take on the legislature. But I tell you that the amazing part is using the power of the governor to replace all the department heads, and then we control the rules, so we will make havoc with what's happening. I speak of DEI. Our state superintendent for education tomorrow would be just blasting getting rid of DEI across the board. We have to fight it. We're going to get sued. We're going to have battles, but it has to be that way. And then we have to expose to the people. We have to keep campaigning with the people saying, we want to change it. If you want change, we need you to battle the legislature. Let's replace all the Democrats who will not play ball. That said, I think there are a couple things that are very important that we can get done. School choice is one of them. Our kids can't read. It's dismal in Peoria, in Decatur, in Rockford. It doesn't matter where you go. Our kids can't read. Black children, Hispanic children, we can build great alliances with the Black and Hispanic caucuses to get that done. That's a good example.
Ted Dabrowski speaking with us right now. I am excited for your campaign. I want people to learn about you. I really like your message. I think it's a positive one. I think it's a fresh one. What do you need from folks listening right now who are curious, who are Ted Drosski curious, or who are motivated now and ready to do something to help, maybe even more than just show up to vote?
Well, those who are curious, you go to tedforillinois.com, but you can also Google Ted Dabrowski and Wire Points, and you'll see how long I've been working at this. I've been dedicated to making Illinois a much better state. So I've been putting out solutions. I'm transparent. I try to be factual. And that's one. But so that's one, too. For those of you who are supportive, you got to tell your friends to get out there and vote. We need lots of votes, a lot of name ID, spread the word. We need your help because I think we have the best message. We have the best platform. We're outsiders, so that gives us a disadvantage in terms of name ID, but we're outsiders, which gives us a huge advantage in terms of changing this place because I love Illinois. Mm-hmm. I love it from Rockford all the way down to Marion, down to Carmi. We have to fix this place. This is amazing.
Don't you have a debate coming up with Darren Bailey or maybe Aaron Delmar? Isn't there a debate on maybe Fox 32?
There's a couple debates. It's interesting because WGN was having a debate, and I was the only one to confirm.
What? WGN?
Yeah, and I was the only one to confirm, so they canceled it. Then on Fox News, apparently Darren is canceled, so now it's just me and Mendrick. The third one, I'm not sure yet.
Why did Darren cancel?
I don't know, and I'm ready to debate these people on TV. It's a great platform. Everybody should be on there, and I don't know. Are they? I know the facts. Maybe they don't.
So you're saying you're willing to show up and debate?
I always show up. I'm the one that confirmed to I was the only one to confirm to WGN. We're the other guys.
Ted Dabrowski, this is just a curious question for me that I'd like to know. Are the issues?
This is going to be weird.
No, it's not. It really isn't. I promise.
All right, I'm ready.
Are the issues that Chicago voters are approaching you with different from what downstate Illinois is saying, or are they basically the same?
Well, I'll tell you, they're basically the same, but I'm going to give one caveat. So the biggest thing I hear about is property taxes. These taxes are killing. It doesn't matter whether I'm in southern Illinois, central, or Chicago. And then the same thing about job opportunity. People want jobs. And then it's interesting because the litmus test is, do you support getting rid of the Safety Act? Absolutely. We need to trash that. And getting rid of the sanctuary state and sanctuary city.
Ring that
Get
bell,
rid of
Brian.
It. Yeah, ring the bell.
Safety Act, gone.
That said, what the Southern Illinoisans want is they want some representation, and so Central as well. A voice, and and it's so true. They have no voice. The way that we've constructed, our legislature, it's all Chicago dominant, and it ticks me off as much as it ticks them off because I like. It's hard for me to explain who I am, right? But I'm a son of immigrants. I'm not one of these. Let's call them the Springfield elitist Chicago Springfield politicians. I'm not one of them. I'm outside
the system,
and I like the little guy because we were immigrant family at one point. So I want to fight for Central Illinois. I want to fight for Southern Illinois because you can't have a great Illinois if those parts of the state don't do as well. Of course, we want Chicago to do well. It's the engine already. We got to make it run well. But dadgummit, you got to have. And I love seeing what I saw. I think Marion, Illinois. I was so happy to see it's growing. I met a young electrician there, and he said to me, he's 21-year-old. He said, it's booming down here. I've got so much work. He says, I put away tens of thousands of dollars already into my 401k. That's what I want to hear. And nobody knows that that's happening in Marion when you're up there. So we want to have growth across the entire state.
Yeah. I think it's just being a Southern Illinoisan. I think that we don't need to be pandered to, we don't need to be talked about, but we do need to be thought of and a part of the equation. But I'm going to piggyback on what you're saying and implore listeners right now in the Southern Illinois area listening to me right now. We have a far reach in Southwestern Illinois. If you want anything to change ever, you've got to get in the game. You've got to show up. You've got to figure out, you're like, I hear this word. It's grassroots. I don't know how to grassroot. Well, you got to find your county Republican Party and say, I have money. I have time. I have both. I have little of either. What can I do to be a part of a solution? And when it comes to, I honestly saw, Ted, a suggestion on Twitter today that said, what if we made a trade with Indiana? You take 20 counties and give them to Indiana, and Chicago gets to keep the Bears. I don't know. I'm not going to ask you to comment on that, but there are a lot of people down here who would rather be in a different state than get involved in this possibility that we have right now come November to actually do something for our own state. Now's the time to get your butt moving and get involved with somebody who inspires you. And Ted might be that guy for you.
Well, there's 33 counties that have said they want to remove themselves from Illinois. And here's a big difference between me and Pritzker. Those people are unhappy. They're disenfranchised. You know what I did? I went to listen to them. I actually spoke at their convention, and I said, listen, I don't support you guys separating from Illinois. I don't support that. However, I do listen to you because you got to hear the grievances and figure out what needs to be fixed and how. They all care about representation because they feel like they're not represented. And so I went down there and I spoke to them. And Pritzker, what did he say? He said blah 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 blah. And if you don't like it, just leave.
Peanuts. Yeah.
He said leave.
Yeah.
I mean that's he's bad for Illinois.
He's an ass. Can I say that?
You just did.
I did. He is.
You have 8 seconds to dump it.
Oh,
3,
don't tell him that
2,
yet. Oh,
1.
Sorry, he just is.
It's on the air.
He just is. He's so arrogant. He doesn't care. He has all the money in the world, and it is the biggest hypocrisy of all that the guy, the fat cat, so to speak, who sits in the governor's chair, who lords himself over the state of Illinois, wants to try to reach out and act like he's for the little guy. He buys his elections. He donates money to Republican primary candidates to pick the person he wants to run against. You want to talk about no kings, Mr.
Wow.
Third-term governor? You're the one trying to act like a king. And really, to that extent of what you're just saying about telling those people to just leave, he doesn't care about you. He cares about himself. He cares about his own presidential ambitions. And I would vote for my Scooter's coffee cup over him for governor. But Ted Dabrowski is a far step above.
The Scooter's cup.
The Scooter's, no. J.B. Pritzker, I'm telling you that right now. You're going to Glen Carbon today?
Going to Roxana, going to Glen Carbon, going to Greenville.
All right. Well,
so
if you
3 spots.
Go to tedforillinois.com, find out where he is. Go ask him tough questions, make him answer, give you those tough answers. Vet your candidates and get out and do something. Please. Please. Ted, thanks for being here today.
Thank you guys for having me.
tedforillinois.com. Learn, study, vote, and grassroot, which is now a verb. Hans von Spakovsky next.
Peace in Washington. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. As President Trump weighs possible military action against Iran.
They cannot continue to threaten the stability of the entire region, and they must make a deal.
Warning that bad things will happen if they don't. The president says he's expecting a response from Iran's negotiators in less than 2 weeks. Progress, but also gaps, have been reported after the latest round of indirect talks on Iran's nuclear program, with the U.S. also wanting to address the ballistic missile program and Iran's support for terrorist proxies.
The mood amongst my MIDI sources has shifted now from hopeful just 2 weeks ago to now uncertainty about what might happen next, as multiple reports are out that the U.S. is prepared to attack Iran as early as this weekend.
Fox's Aisha Hasni at the White House. Meantime, Iran holding joint naval drills with Russia. The president's comments coming as he chaired the first Board of Peace meeting focused on rebuilding Gaza, with the U.S. and 9 other countries pledging billions of dollars. Several nations also pledging troops and police for an international stabilization force to oversee the demilitarization of Hamas and to train a Palestinian police force. U.S. UN Michael Waltz telling Fox.
Well, you have to give just huge credit to President Trump's leadership to establishing this Board of Peace. It was endorsed by the UN Security Council 13-0. So for all of the naysayers out there, saying he just invented this out of whole cloth. No, the UN put their stamp on it.
Crucial, he says, for the countries committing troops to the peace plan. The president's White House Ballroom Project wins approval from the U.S. Commission of Fine Arts. All of the panel's members appointed by the president. The project still needs approval from another panel, but construction is already underway, even as a lawsuit continues, filed by preservationists after the demolition of the White House East Wing. America is listening to Fox News.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex saline from Vicks.
Sinex saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Why significant that Mark Zuckerberg testifies later today? And what is it that you hope he is asked in that process?
It's significant because this evidence has never before been seen. And he is not going to be able to say, Senator, I don't recall. Let my office get back to your office about that and then walk away and never have to think about it again. This is a judge and jury. This is a court of law. The law comes for everyone. And if you have created a product that is unsafe for kids, that actually has been shown to kill kids, and you've lied about it to the public and buried research when you could have been warning us to the dangers, you're going to be held accountable. So that's why it's significant. He's never before had to answer to that. As far as the outcomes, I really hope that we see lasting policy change because of this. These are individual harms cases, and so the individual outcomes might differ, but I hope that the U.S. Congress is compelled to act after these trials begin.
We the people of the United States,
more perfect,
pure form of our perfect union.
National legal expert Hans von Spakovsky.
Well, we've got Hans on with us once again, and I've been talking about this story, the Zuckerberg, Meta, Google lawsuit in California, really questioning the intentional addictability, is that a word, of these platforms that kids are on. Hans, thanks for being with us today. It's good to have you back with us.
Sure, thanks for having me.
What can you tell us? I want to get your 30,000-foot view on this lawsuit in California, what they're looking into and what the ramifications might end up being.
Well, look, there's a difference here between the law and what might be very biased juries out in California. Keep in mind, the polling shows Mark Zuckerberg is really not liked by people. I mean, I don't particularly like him either. But I got to tell you, I think this is an absurd lawsuit. And I think if a jury finds against Zuckerberg and Meta, I think it'll be purely because they don't like him. I mean, think about what this case is saying. Where are the parents? The parents have control over these kids. The parents have control. They're the ones who bought them the cell phones. They're the ones who every day could go through and see what apps are on there. And if there's an app that they don't think their kids should be on, they can wipe it off. But instead, they're blaming the company that developed the app and claiming it was somehow addictive. That's like someone who drinks too much blaming the bourbon distillery for producing the alcohol.
Yeah, it's something that we had a lot of conversation about it on the show yesterday. And I, as a mother of four, my oldest is 16. I've got a 13-year-old as well. It is so difficult to parent in these times where this stuff is trying to at least reach into our kids' life, that a parent has to be the front line of policing what does and does not get to our children. And I guess the lawsuit has some sort of portion of it that's asking about, like, was it intentionally made to be addicting to children, because there have been children who've taken their own life because of their usage of it. Do you feel like, I know we've heard about section, 203 or whatever it is, and, understanding the difference between a platform or an advocacy entity, where we might be moving to a place where the result of this case could involve some sort of potential future legislation on how they're regulated?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, there was an effort in Congress last year to pass this particular huge bill. It was very large. It was like the Kids Online Privacy Act. And it was designed to help kids not be exposed to all kinds of different social media platforms and apps. I actually think there were a number of First Amendment issues and problems with that particular legislation. But, yeah, Congress has already looked at this, and Congress has already had put together a bill to try to fix some of the problems that they saw. And by the way, people should remember right now, there's a case before the U.S. Supreme Court. We're waiting for a decision where a bunch of pornographers sued Texas after Texas simply passed a law saying, well, if you're going to have a pornography site, you have to ensure that people who are accessing your site are 18. And all the pornographers have sued saying, well, that violates their First Amendment rights. I don't think they're correct about that. But I do think Congress has the power, for example, to put in age limits or age minimums for particular apps.
Yeah, and I think when I'm mulling over this, I'm never looking to well, how could government regulate this? Because I don't usually think that that's anything that, while it is a proposed solution, it doesn't usually solve the problem necessarily. But
right.
as a parent, I'm thinking the government doesn't need to be regulating parents. Potentially, the government might need to regulate some of these organizations if essentially they're turning children into commodities that are, selling advertisements by getting kids to get hooked and so on and so forth. Is there any Australia, I think it is, says you can't have social media till you're 16. Can that be made? Whether it's smart or not, could the United States legislature decide we're going to say you can't have Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat until you're 16? We're going to make it a law. Is there any reason why that would be unconstitutional?
Potentially so. I don't know how the Supreme Court would look at that. I think it would depend a lot on how the law is structured because, as I said, I think the app designers, for example, would be making all kinds of First Amendment claims about it. I mean, look, cigarettes, alcohol, we have laws in place that say you have to be an adult to get them, or with the cigarettes, you have to be at least 16. Those are obviously all within the power of states to do that. Can those kind of prohibitions extend to apps like, for example, just a gaming app? I mean, there are some folks that want to apply it to that. I think this would raise very thorny First Amendment issues.
We're speaking with Hans von Spakovsky, Advancing American Freedom Senior Legal Fellow, also a former FEC commissioner and former DOJ lawyer. I wanted to just get an update. We've talked with you several times extensively on the SAVE Act, the filibuster, getting it through the Senate as it has passed the House, and getting it to the president's desk. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on the progress in the Senate so far as they've gotten a little bit closer. I think 50 co-sponsors of the SAVE Act in the Senate. What do you think is going to happen with this?
Well, Senator Thune apparently is making promises that he's going to try to get it onto the floor of the Senate. So can they push it through? Can they get over filibuster? I don't know, but it's clear that they're making the effort to do it. And that's a good thing, and that's what they ought to be doing.
So in your mind, Hans, a lot of people are talking about that, conceptually speaking, yes, you should have to prove that you're a citizen in order to vote because the law already states that you have to be a citizen to vote. We're just asking for the verification of it, not to implement a new restriction on who can or can't access the ability to vote. But once this would pass, do you know how it would be implemented? What would I have to do? I've been married for almost 20 years. My name's been Fry for a long time now. What would somebody like me have to do in order to get the box checked so that, yes, she's a citizen? Because I have a real ID, but it doesn't say I'm a citizen on my real ID. What kind of steps would have to be put in place to implement the voter ID requirement in order to prove your citizenship to vote?
Well, the law has a whole series of different kinds of ID that can be used, and it has a fail-safe provision. It requires every state to set up a process by which, if there's any kind of discrepancy, for example, in documents, different names, a procedure whereby that can be looked at, reviewed, and election officials make the final decision. Eddie, what I would say to you is, remember, you, me, everybody else, we all already have to do that, prove that we're U.S. citizens to get a job.
Yes, you do.
You cannot work in the United States unless you prove to your prospective employer your identification, who you are, and that you're either a U.S. citizen or you're an alien here legally with a work permit. So the federal government already requires this to work, and yet you have all these people saying, oh, it's too much to request this, require this for voting. Well, if you ask most people if they had to choose between being able to vote and earning enough money to support their families, which one would they choose?
No kidding. Hans von Spakovsky speaking with us. So let me ask you this question, because there's been a lot of discussion from the left saying it's a disenfranchisement for women who've married and changed their last name. Would the implementation of this, where you have to be able to prove your place of birth, prove your citizenship, whatever it might be, if I've been married for 19 years, would it be easier for me? Would I do it just the way that that my husband, who's always had the last name Fry, would do it? Or would every woman who's ever changed their name have to go through an extra step in order to attach their birthplace with their current name?
I think it just depends on what kind of documentation they have about it. Keep in mind, this exact same claim was brought up 20 years ago when states first started putting in voter ID laws. And all these folks said, well, I won't be able to get a photo ID that matches my registration name because I've gotten married since then. All those claims turned into basically hot air and did not prevent married women from voting because this is a process that married women have to go through for all kinds of things, not just, for example, to get a driver's license, to get a bank account. I mean, just there's so many instances where they've got to go through this process. And like I said, that was raised with voter ID laws. It was not a problem. And the SAVE Act is set up, like I said, it's got this fail-safe provision that's going to allow local officials to make a determination and for people to present whatever documents and evidence they have that's needed to show this.
Yeah, I'm proposing that if somebody has to pay for and receive a marriage certificate, even a birth certificate, in order to provide proof of citizenship for the qualification, that $10 fee, $15, $20 fee, whatever that standard fee is, there should be a box that you can check when you file your taxes the next year and get a credit on your taxes the next year if you had to pay for those so that you could vote. So then they have to file their taxes to get their $10 back.
Yeah. Plus, remember, I think states will do the same thing they did with photo ID requirements for voting. Every single state that put in a law like that put in a provision saying if you can't afford to get a photo ID, we'll provide you one for free.
So no hindrance there either. Hans, thank you for being with us. We appreciate you, and we look forward to watching the SAVE Act continue to develop. Each week we talk to you. It looks like it's gotten just a little bit further, so we'll hopefully keep going with it.
All right. Take care.
Take care. You too as well. Advancing American Freedom Senior, legal fellow, former FEC commissioner, former DOJ lawyer, Hans von Spakovsky, our Thursday friend, really our friend every day. Let's take a break. YouTube poll for today. What's your reaction to New York City Mayor Mamdani's tenure so far? Do you see what he's doing in New York City, and does it disgust you? Does it make you sad? Are you supportive of it? You're cheering him on every step of the way. Or are you amused that New York City kind of FAFO'd on the whole mayor candidate situation there? Up to you. Come vote. Tell us what you think. Text us as well, 314-241-9797. And hit us up with your thoughts on Mamdani. Do you kind of chuckle when you hear what he's doing? Let us know in the text. Let us know in the chat. Go vote. Stream us on the Odyssey app everywhere you go. AUDACY. Download it. Find 97.1 FM Talk. We'll be right back. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. Matt Hayes is a man you can trust to come look at your basement, look at your foundation, look at your crawl space, look at the concrete patio, the sidewalks, the walkways at work, all of these different types of foundational concerns that you have. 314-271-9900. It's the phone number to call because that's Matt Hayes' phone number. You can have him come look at what you're dealing with, and then he can tell you how he can help you. And you'll know quickly why so many people in St. Louis have hired their neighbor, Matt Hayes. He's a local guy, hiring local folks. It's a ground-up St. Louis business, Home Shield Foundation Repair. And he's a man you can trust, and he's got a great team, a great staff. They're it's really impressive when you have a group of people who want to stick around and stay and help build something because they're really good at it. They provide a really great service. Home Shield Foundation Repair prides themselves on that. 314-271-9900, HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Hi, I'm Uzo Aduba, and right now medical information is not regularly being shared within the research community, but you can help change that. Patients can help accelerate research by sharing their information and unique experience.
Everyone's experience with cancer matters, including my own.
If you're a cancer patient in the U.S. and its territories or Canada, you may be able to play a part in accelerating cancer research and uncovering new breakthroughs simply by sharing your patient data with researchers around the world.
My unique experience can make the difference of life and death to some of the people in my community.
It is in our stories and data that the answers can be found.
Join Stand Up to Cancer, Count Me In, and thousands of patients like Maeve, Bridget, and Joel in this movement.
For our family.
For our friends.
For us all.
The information is out there. Together we can unlock it. Join in at standuptochancer.org/countmein.
Hi, it's Mark Cox inviting you to join me September 30th as we discover the charm of Switzerland, Austria, and Germany with Colette Travel. Spend 4 nights in Bern and then 4 nights at the foot of the Alps in Innsbruck. From the cobblestone streets to the postcard-worthy mountain landscapes of the amazing Alps, we're going to explore the Swiss paradise on the lake. We'll travel the Austrian countryside to Salzburg with a visit to Mozart's birthplace, and then Mirabelle Gardens featured in The Sound of Music. This and so much more. Colette handles all the details. The flights, the meals, the hotels, the local experiences. All you have to do is have the time of your life. Don't miss this trip. Meet me and the folks from Colette to learn more at the Lodge at De Pere, Tuesday, February 24th at 2 p.m. Call Colette at 800-581-8942 or go to 971talk.com/events for details.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. I'm excited about our 1:30 guest. Mark Vargas is going to be with us. He's a columnist for NewsMax, editor-in-chief at NewsMax. Return of the NewsMax.
NewsMax. News Cheesy Mac.
Okay. I was going more 90s hip-hop. You were going more craft.
I was, macaroni and cheese.
That's on brand for both of you.
Yeah, exactly. Do you prefer, have we had the discussion about Kraft mac and cheese being like the McDonald's cheeseburger of cheeseburgers?
I think we've had that discussion. It might have been off air.
It's wild that we've had that discussion before. But in our house, my husband makes wonderful scratch mac and cheese, mixes cheeses together, the whole 9 yards.
That's impressive.
And sometimes the kids are like, but Dad, can we just have the box mac and cheese? And his heart hurts over that.
It should.
And my son's always like, Dad, I really like your mac and cheese better. And then Dad says, what do you want, Charlie? That's always the way that conversation goes. Anyway, back to columnist for NewsMax, editor-in-chief of Illinois Review, Mark Vargas, is going to be with us in just a minute to talk about this story, which, from what I'm understanding here, you have not heard this report yet. So listen here. This is John Solomon on Real America's Voice reporting on something you might care about here.
The state of Illinois, one of those blue states that's been giving commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens. In fact, the illegal alien who last week killed a family in Indiana, he got his driver's license in Illinois. Well, today, Secretary Duffy revealed that 1 out of every 5 commercial driver's licenses that Illinois gave to non-domicile drivers, meaning people that don't live in Illinois, were illegally issued. They did not meet the standards, the training, the English proficiency, or the driving proficiency, or the required U.S. residency to be a commercial driver's license recipient. 1 out of 5.
Okay, so I'm going to just interject here real quick and say that there are a ton of people who listen to the show who drive trucks. I would say 1 out of 5 people who comes up and talks to me in an event or at the grocery store or whatever, that's like, oh, Annie, I listen to you all the time. I drive my truck. A lot of people who drive regionally, drive, for whatever needs to be hauled at any time. There's a lot of local trucking agencies that listen to the show. And I can't think, this is kind of like how grating would it be to be one of those people driving a truck here in this area or knowing what's really going on with the system and find out 1 out of 5 truckers shouldn't be on the road.
I want to know right away. If I'm Secretary Duffy, I bet he's looking into this. Who's pushing that? Because it's not every individual DMV that decided all of a sudden, oh yeah, we'll just do this in this one state. Somebody's pushing that.
Here's more from John
the
Solomon.
state of Illinois given less than 30 days to clean that up or lose all of its federal highway funding. That is a really significant amount of money. I think about $200 million a year that the state of Illinois is about to lose if it doesn't clean up this act. This is part of the larger machinery we talk about. Blue states, sanctuary cities. First, they get people to come across the border, and they lure them to their cities with the promise of aid, and they allow fraud to go on. And then when they try to give them jobs they're not entitled to, we end up with people driving 18-wheelers who don't have the capability or the training to do that, and all of us are put at risk. That's what that family...
That's all of us are put at risk. You want to talk about a state that legislates and regulates the Second Amendment because it's like they're really afraid of what that gun's going to jump up and do to somebody. Let's talk about what trucks can do to somebody. Let's talk about what these types of vehicles, when they're moving on the highway, what they're capable of doing if they're not versed in the rules of the road, if they can't read English, if they are not adequately trained or certified. Just one more time from John Solomon, just so that you're like, Annie, did I hear that correctly?
State of Illinois, one of those blue states that's been giving commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens. In fact, the illegal alien who last week killed a family in Indiana, he got his driver's license in Illinois. Well, today, Secretary Duffy revealed that 1 out of every 5 commercial driver's licenses that Illinois gave to non-domicile drivers, meaning people that don't live in Illinois, were illegally issued.
1 out of 5 drivers were illegally issued.
Why even have the rules? So they want to make the biggest nanny state in the world.
I got pulled over in Troy, Illinois because my sticker was 1 week expired.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, I'm supposed to get 30 days. Lord knows I could. Do I even need to have a license? Do I even need to be qualified? Do I even need to go to the DMV and fill out the forms and pay the $15, $30, whatever dollars it is? These people are doing that in the state of Illinois? What?
No,
it's wild.
Yeah, let's make up new rules where let's see. How about we don't have to tell parents when we have kids that want to get sex changes? Let's make up rules about that. But then rules about reading road signs, we're not going to enforce those at all. In fact, somebody somewhere is telling the DMVs to pass these things through because it's not happening in every state. It's just happening in Illinois.
Quick question before we go to a break. Related to something you just said there. Had a conversation with someone yesterday and they asked me this. You mentioned sex changes. When you go to get gender reassignment surgeries, how many genders do you get to choose from to be reassigned to?
I think it's around 800,000.
I think it's 1. I think it's 1. I'm like, that's the best point I've ever heard, that there's 2 genders.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, sometimes you have to explain it.
You had to that time.
I know.
I caught up, though.
Mark Vargas is going to be with us when we come back. He's going to talk about this and just the general corruption that goes on in the state of Illinois, just blindly. Like this crap is just happening. You drove to work today on the highway, and if you passed 5 semi-trucks, you got to wonder about one of them. And I got to think that those truckers listening right now have got to be pissed at this, that this is the type of thing happening in their industry. Makes me nervous, makes me scared. Mark Vargas, columnist for NewsMax, editor-in-chief of the Illinois Review, when we come back. CiviaLaw.com. I trust Todd Civia enough to have him help us and our family with our trust establishment. And when you call Todd Civia to, sit down, interview him, because you got to make sure he's the right guy for you, correct? When you are connecting with Todd Civia for that first meeting by calling 833-995-WILL and you throw my name out there, they're going to waive the fee for that. It's a $300 value. You just don't have to pay for it because you just mentioned Annie. 833-995-WILL for your estate needs, your elder law planning. You got to have somebody you can trust and thorough. Todd's thorough. When you hire Todd Sivia, he's going to help guide you through all of the different preparedness that you need for aging, for long-term care, for assets and tax obligations, all of that stuff. It's all a big pile of, I don't know what to do here. I need an expert who does. And Todd Sivia is that guy, certainly for the Fry family. And I hope that you'll consider hiring him as well. 833-995-WILL. That's 833-995-WILL. Mention the Annie Fry Show when you call. First 10 callers right now, and you get that strategy session, $300 value, that fee waived. CiviaLaw.com.
License number GL250000615.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Two sounds that can wreck your sleep. A drip and a toilet that won't stop running.
Drip, drip, all night.
Good news. We're doing plumbing now. Same folks, same care, same we do it right.
Leaky faucet, running toilet.
Or a stubborn clog, call Grasser.
Electric and plumbing, the Grasser way.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
Hi, it's Mark Cox inviting you to join me September 30th as we discover the charm of Switzerland, Austria, and Germany with Colette Travel. Spend 4 nights in Bern and then 4 nights at the foot of the Alps in Innsbruck. From the cobblestone streets to the postcard-worthy mountain landscapes of the amazing Alps, we're going to explore the Swiss capital of Bern and lovely Lucerne, the Swiss paradise on the lake. We'll travel the Austrian countryside to Salzburg with a visit to Mozart's birthplace, and then Mirabelle Gardens featured in The Sound of Music. This and so much more. Colette handles all the details. The flights, the meals, the hotels, the local experiences. All you have to do is have the time of your life. Don't miss this trip. Meet me and the folks from Colette to learn more at the Lodge at De Pere, Tuesday, February 24th at 2 p.m. Call Colette at 800-581-8942 or go to 971talk.com/events for details.
Dreaming of college but worried about the cost? The Together Foundation is here to help. The Together Foundation is awarding 5 $1,500 scholarships to St. Louis area students who are ready to take the next step toward their future. Applying is simple, but time is limited, as applications will be accepted through March 31st. Learn more or apply at togethercu.org/scholarship. That's togethercu.org/scholarship. This community message has been brought to you by Together Credit Union.
The YouTube live chat poll today is, what is your reaction to New York City Mayor Mamdani's tenure so far? There are 4 options. You could feel disgusted, saddened, supportive, or amused. We have not revealed the way that we feel about this yet. We will. We want to know how you feel. Let us know, and you can always leave a comment on our stream or by texting 314-241-9797. I am monitoring those as well. It is 1:32. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Freedom has a frequency. 97.1 FM Talk. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Feeling my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. I can't tell where the journey will end, but I know where to start. They tell me I'm too young to understand. They say I'm caught up in a dream. Well, life will pass me by if I don't open up my eyes. So that's fine by me. So wake me up.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We're working to connect with Mark Vargas to talk about that. 1 in 5, that John Solomon report, 1 in 5 CDL drivers in the state of Illinois are illegally issued CDLs. And the Department of Transportation, Secretary Duffy, what did they say, like 200 billion or million? Or
200 million.
Cajillion, $1 million.
$200 cajillion.
Yes, probably that they would withhold from the state of Illinois if they don't get their act together. I don't know if they're, this is a fundamental problem with the state of Illinois. These types of things are happening everywhere. And it's really kind of exciting to me to see that we've got the Trump administration's cabinet firing on all cylinders. So, like the Secretary of Transportation, what did the Department of Transportation, what stories were coming to us out of the Department of Transportation? Pete Buttigieg, of course, being the Department of Transportation, we watched him get out of the back of his vehicle and get his bike out and ride one block for a photo op. And then he'd talk about, big existential things. And then we'd have transportation crisis after it was almost a comedy of events that took place, tragedy of events with the transportation department in Joe Biden's 4 years. And it was just like Pete Buttigieg was there to be a prominent Democrat political figure out front.
Which he did.
And that was it.
Well, and I'll take it even one step further and say that he actually sought to undermine that office by implementing policies, which he did very effectively, by the way, spent a lot of money and did nothing. So they updated no software anywhere. That's why Secretary Duffy and President Trump are having to do all that now. But they implemented from the top down policies that said they wanted to hire, especially in the airline field and air traffic control and pilots, people based on the color of their skin rather than their qualifications. That is so racist and ridiculous.
Wait,
and it undermines...
Wait. You're saying that if you're going to hire somebody because they're a certain skin color, that's racist?
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Because if you're hiring because of their skin color, then you're not hiring someone else because of their skin color. Ergo, racist.
The amazing thing is they do it under the banner of being not racist. And it's racist. And it undermines the
Nothing to see here.
entire
Please disperse.
profession. If you were doing something that didn't have millions of people's lives at stake, it probably wouldn't be as big of a deal. It'd still be wrong. But it does. It's a big deal. And everybody's safety is at stake when you do that kind of stuff, especially with airlines. But Pete Buttigieg, the fact Secretary Duffy has done a very good job, because the minute he got into office, they had a couple of airline tragedies right afterwards, a couple of fires and some accidents, and everybody, oh, look at this guy's an idiot, and you're like,
yeah, like he made the plane fall.
They just got in office, and they're having to deal with the biggest story out of the transportation side of things that's not being reported much is how much we had lagged behind in our technology in all the airline fields and all of the air traffic controllers for
what
years.
What were we even doing?
Yeah, and they're spending billions and billions of dollars on nothing, absolutely nothing, probably laundering money through it just like everything else. And now the guy in charge is having to go back through and fix all that by trying to spend less money to do it and get everything back up to date. And after this 4 years, I will have tremendous confidence. I have tremendous confidence now that they're working on the right things and getting it there, but it's going to take time.
I want to dip in here real quick to our poll question, which I'm really super curious how our audience is going to feel about this, because I've talked before, like the AOCs, the people in The View. It used to be Kamala, and then she freaking ran for president. It's just like, I can't. You will remember, you were here before Kamala was picked for VP, and I'm like, she's the absolute worst. It would be my worst nightmare if she got that. I was so happy when she dropped out of the primary, and when Biden got the nomination, I was like, the absolute worst for me, just personally, to have to suffer through covering this every day would be Kamala Harris. So that's who they're going to pick. Do you remember that?
It was funny.
It was for you.
Yeah, it was great. It was really funny.
But there are people who I just don't want to cover a lot, because I'm pretty sure that you all are as frustrated by all of it as I am. And I don't really want to make you suffer through things that I don't think at the end of the day make your day better. Mamdani might be one of those people, but it might not be. We can sit here and we can. I'm annoyed when I tune into the news to find out what's going on, and it's all about New York City. Now, I understand that New York City will be a bellwether for what could be potentially happening elsewhere. So it's not that I think it's not important. It's just I don't think it's as important as all the news studios who are located in New York City obviously think it does, because it affects them directly. People look at the state of Illinois and they roll their eyes and they're like, blue state, Chicago, it's corrupt, it'll never be better. And then they move on. But if it's New York City, it gets sucked up, and all the news time and the airtime ends up moving that direction. So I don't cover it as much. But things are starting to kind of pop in New York City. Things are starting to look a little more red in New York City. Here's a headline from Fox Business. Real estate experts blast Mamdani's math-defying tax plan, warn of higher rents and flight. Fox Business goes on to report by Kristen Altus. New York City's Democratic Socialist Mayor Zoran Mamdani has issued an ultimatum to Albany. Tax the ultra-wealthy or face the, quote, last resort, 9.5% property tax hike to plug a $5.4 billion deficit. Mamdani claims he's protecting the working class. Real estate insiders say the plan is a math-defying disaster that will drive up rents and accelerate the flight of taxpayers to low state taxes like, you know it already, Florida and Texas. I would probably throw in there Tennessee as well. I don't know how many people leave New York and run directly to Tennessee, but definitely Florida and Texas. What's your reaction to New York City Mayor Mamdani's tenure so far? Are you disgusted, saddened, supportive, or amused? Ryan.
I'm amused.
I wondered if you would be.
And it's not for maybe the reason that you think it is. I'm not laughing at the people of New York City. Ha, 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 this is what you voted for. I'm amused at how fast it's happened. Because I thought, it's a big city, it's a big economy. It's going to take a little bit to see some of the effects of these things take place. It's been, 2 months? I mean, and you're already, 1 month, you're saying? And you're already seeing this stuff start to spiral out of his control. The promises he made, I will give him this. He's trying to follow through on some of that nonsense stuff. And he can't figure out how to do it because he's never, ever had to do it. This is exactly what a super far left economic progressive thinks is going to be easy to do. And it never is. This is like conservative 101 watching this happen in real time. That's why I'm amused.
You're amused. Brad?
Yeah, I'm amused as well.
You guys.
Sorry.
No, look. It's like one of those things where you're like, hey, I told you this was going to happen. And you're like, no, I'm going to do it anyway. And then I look at you and I go, all right. And then it's exactly what everybody predicted. He wouldn't be able to follow through. He wouldn't be able to do anything. And he hasn't. And now he's raising taxes on everybody, not just the wealthy. And people are like, I don't believe it. The absolute arrogance to think that this will be different because we're doing it. We've tried communism and democratic socialism or whatever nonsense you want to call it for years.
Yeah, we kind of have in Illinois.
As human race, we've tried this and it always ends the same way. An abject failure. And they're like, no, it'll be different with us. It'll be different this time. We haven't tried it the right way.
I feel like Mamdani is the mom. I'm just going to put this figurative mom in an apron for fun in her kitchen, watching her children. And she's got her hands on her hips. And she's got her right foot forward. And she has tapped her toe. And she's like trying to convey, this is what we really want. This is what we really need. And people aren't listening. So she kind of lifts her right foot up and she stomps it down a little bit. I think he's getting his apron in a twist, Mamdani.
Okay. So you think he's going to keep going? He's not going to...
Hell yeah! What's the... Is he going to retreat?
No, he's going to...
When this thing falls, it's going to fall flat on its face because he leaned in, not because he backed away.
But it's so fast. That's what's unbelievable to me. Is immediate a month in and he's already like, we're going to have to raise everybody's property taxes. And what happens then? Your rent goes up.
Did you want the proud Democratic Socialist to wait to go be commie in governance? He waited till mid-February.
Yeah. Slow clap.
I don't know what New York was going to do for 5 or 6 weeks when they're like, so are you serious about this? Where's the free stuff? Remember, communism, nothing is free. It's only included. You just have to sell your soul to get it. Not worth it. At least not here. As we said, we're going to speak with Mark Vargas. We're going to talk with him next. He's a columnist for NewsMax, editor-in-chief. NewsMax. I said NewsMax again. I'm going too quickly.
It's okay.
Editor-in-chief of Illinois Review. 1 in 5 CDLs being issued in the state of Illinois. Not issued legally. What? Are you driving on the roads near Illinois? Listen, folks, if you're in Missouri and you are driving around people who are driving in and through Illinois, this involves you as well. Let's talk to Mark Vargas next when we come back.
It's all over when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and
Air Comfort Service, beautiful day outside here in St. Louis. Rainy, and I say beautiful because the sun is shining right now. It's nice to see it. This is kind of that fickle time in the Midwest where we have some of all of the seasons in one single day, when your HVAC system is not working the way it's supposed to, and who honestly right now can afford those higher energy bills that are coming through. You need to make sure that you have an efficient system. If you have a problem with your HVAC system, heating, cooling, both of them, did you know you can call Air Comfort Service 24/7 for emergency service? They're going to be happy to help you. They're the people you want to show up when it's not working right and you want to get into your comfort zone very, very quickly. Air Comfort Service can deliver. 314-513-0091. I've made an emergency call in December, late December, when our furnace quit working. They took care of everything. They got us right back in order, and I recommend them over and over and over again as a happy, satisfied customer. 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
Costly mistakes, reduce unnecessary taxes, and make your money work smarter in retirement. Call 314-888-5101 or visit fta-ria.com to reserve your seat today. Space fills quickly, so don't wait. Take that first step toward a more confident retirement.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. I want to get straight to our guest. Excited to have Mark Vargas on with us, columnist for NewsMax, editor-in-chief of Illinois Review. Mark, thank you for being with us. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. We want to talk to you about these Illinois CDLs and about the apparently 1 in 5 licenses are errantly being released to people driving in the state of Illinois. What can you tell us about this?
Well, it's under Governor Pritzker. It's illegal aliens first and American citizens last. I mean, this brings me back to George Ryan days when, you had the illegal driver's license bribe, and it resulted in 6 children being killed in a violent fiery car crash. If you remember that back in the mid-1990s, these are individuals that shouldn't be getting driver's licenses. But there should be no surprise if in Illinois, they had a measure of non-citizens become police officers, non-citizens, illegals to get driver's licenses in general. And now we see this scandal breaking out and this controversy. Again, the under Governor Pritzker, Illinois has prioritized illegal aliens over American citizens. $2.5 billion has gone to provide free health care for illegal aliens, while mothers in the south and west side of Chicago are bearing their babies because of a high infant mortality rate, because local hospitals and clinics are underfunded, because all the money is being reprioritized and realigned to make sure illegal aliens are taken care of. It's remarkable, and it's why the Chicago Bears, it looks like they're going to be moving to Indiana. This is just a colossal failure in leadership of Governor Pritzker and the Illinois Democrats.
Yeah, that meme with that dog, I don't know what it's from, but he's sitting there drinking coffee at a table and everything is on fire around him and he's saying, this is fine. I mean, it does feel like all four walls of the room are on fire and J.B. Pritzker is just sitting there saying, I'm going to win a third term. I mean, how do you, as the governor of this state, continue to hear these reports? I mean, does he know that 20% of these drivers are illegally being issued a license? Does he know that there are so many illegal immigrants that are destined for Illinois because he's invited them because of the sanctuary city status? Does he understand how much he's screwing over the Illinois resident, taxpayer, citizen for all of these different purposes? What is his point? What's his goal here?
Well, you're asking a great question, and he does know, and they've lost a lot of residents, hundreds of thousands of Illinois residents that have fled Illinois over the last 4 years because of Pritzker's failed leadership. So they've got to figure out a new voting bloc. How do you do that? Well, let's look at illegal aliens. That's why Governor Pritzker is opposed to DOSH. He called it an insult to all Americans because he doesn't want you to know where any of the money, taxpayer money, is going. It's why they're trying to figure out ways to engage the illegal aliens to make up for a voter bloc that they rely on every single year. But again, Pritzker's in big trouble. We've exposed, Illinois Review's discussed about this. $20 billion in Illinois state government contracts have gone to Pritzker's companies in his so-called blind trust. His blind trust is 2020 vision, but yet he says, don't look at my blind trust. $180 million of Illinois taxpayer dollars have gone to renovate his downtown Chicago hotel at the Hyatt McCormick Place. And now his cousin, Thomas Pritzker, who was chairman of the Hyatt Hotels that managed his multi-billion-dollar fortune, has now had to resign abruptly in disgrace because of the Epstein files and his close personal relationship with Jeffrey Epstein years after his conviction. So Governor Pritzker knows exactly what's going on. It's why in these key issues, he's staying absolutely silent.
Yeah, and I think that his silence is deafening even more than his blabbering. Talks in the State of the State yesterday 9 times about Donald Trump. Donald Trump's the worst thing to ever happen to the state of Illinois, according to J.B. Pritzker. Meanwhile, we think that Pritzker is one of the worst things to ever happen to the state of Illinois. What's going to happen next? Because the federal government has their eye on the state of Illinois. We know Secretary Duffy has said something by way of the Transportation Department and funding, federal funds that come to the state of Illinois. You're talking about corruption from a blind trust, money that is being prioritized from the taxpayer to places that benefit Governor J.B. Pritzker. I mean, there are a lot of real concerns, real issues taking place right now, ethical and potentially legal concerns. I'm as a resident of Illinois myself, Mark, I just assume nothing's going to happen, that the corrupt are always going to get ahead and no one's comeuppance are ever going to happen publicly. You think there's anything different this time?
And you're right. There's a lot of frustration, but I think times have changed. What has been uncovered, the widespread waste, fraud, and abuse in Minnesota under Governor Waltz, the tiny dancer, I think we're going to see. That's just the tip of the iceberg. What we're going to see in California and Illinois, for example, is going to make your socks go up and down. This is what happens with one-party rule. Again, it's the reason why Governor Pritzker has called DOSH and auditing state finances and figuring out where Illinois taxpayer dollars have gone. That's why he calls DOSH an insult to all Americans. He's hiding something. Pritzker's worst fear is called sunlight. It's one word, sunlight. And he's worried about that. But he's in real trouble. Annie, what's interesting is the White House Press Secretary, Caroline Leavitt, said for the very first time yesterday from the podium in the White House press briefing room that the president is aware of Governor Pritzker's waste, fraud, and abuse. That spells big trouble because the FBI and the DOJ work for President Donald Trump, and now he's aware of all the widespread waste, fraud, and abuse, including the $20 billion and the $180 million, and his DOSH is an insult to all Americans. Governor Pritzker ought to be really, really worried this time around because he doesn't have Joe Biden or Bill Clinton or Barack Obama protecting him this time.
You've made a commitment that my socks are going to go up and down. When? When does this happen, Mark Vargas? When do we actually see the sunlight expose the truth for the people, the residents, the taxpayers of Illinois?
Well, we're beginning to see these stories creep out nationally. I've been going on NewsMax talking about this, but I think that now that the White House is fully aware of the waste, fraud, and abuse, I think you're going to see some movement. Again, this is mirroring what's happening in Minnesota, but I think the waste, fraud, and abuse is far worse in Illinois than what we're uncovering in Minnesota. And Governor Pritzker never thought any of this would see sunlight. But I can assure you that the White House is committed to rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse, and that includes looking at what's going on in Illinois.
Mark, this is Ryan. I'm sorry to tread territory that you've already been down, but I heard you say something. I wrote it down. I thought I need to know more about that. You said it was something like $20 billion had been funneled through, I guess, the state back to Pritzker's own entities. Is that right?
No, you're 100% right. And what makes this interesting is, so Pritzker set up a blind trust. We've now learned that 12 companies within that blind trust, since he's been governor in 2019, have received over $20 billion in Illinois state government contracts, all taxpayer funded. The largest company there that received $20 billion, you know what it did? COVID testing. So it explains the why. Why during the pandemic was Pritzker talking about, you got to get tested over and over, 20 times, 30 times, keep testing, don't stop testing. Now, in 2026, we know why. Because a company within his blind trust got $20 billion in state government contracts for COVID testing. And again, I believe that this is just the tip of the iceberg. There is going to be a whole lot more coming out. But this sort of stuff is shocking to all Illinoisans.
Mark Vargas is columnist for NewsMax and editor-in-chief of Illinois Review. Let me ask you one more thing about that. Is that all just state money? And are you talking about federal money here too, or that's just from the state?
That's just from the state.
My gosh.
That's just the state of Illinois.
Oh, we're all Illinois taxpayers in
Yes,
here, Mark.
we are.
We have three people on a show in St. Louis, and we all live in the People's Republic.
That's right. And don't forget, $180 million of Illinois hard-earned taxpayer money, without any of us knowing, has gone to renovate his downtown Chicago hotel, the Hyatt Regency at McCormick Place. $180 million in taxpayer money so that they can raise the price and the profit of that business so that eventually it lines J.B. Pritzker's pockets. $180 million to renovate his hotel. It's remarkable.
Mark Vargas, we've got less than 1 minute left with you right now. Do you think J.B. Pritzker feels the heat on all of this stuff being exposed right now?
He is now. He didn't before. He is now, and his world is crashing down. This is finally being exposed. Sunlight is going. We now have sunlight on his finances and his blind trust. Now it looks like the Chicago Bears are going to be leaving. It's going to shine a very bright light on Illinois. He's polling at 2%, lowest of any presidential candidate nationally, as a prospective Democrat. His world is caving in. The walls are closing in. J.B. Pritzker's in real trouble.
Oh, will you please stay connected with us? These developments, I want to continue to have you on and talk about it and bring it to the people listening right now, Missouri and Illinois alike. A better Illinois would make for a better Missouri, and certainly for a better home for us who are living there. Mark Vargas, thank you for your time today. We know you're at a fundraiser that you're hosting. We thank you for stepping out and talking to us.
God bless you. Thank you.
Yeah, God bless you as well. Thank you so much. Mark Vargas, columnist for NewsMax, editor-in-chief of Illinois Review, and J.B. Pritzker, butt kicker. 2 o'clock hour next. Don't go away.
With our 25-year transferable warranty. Paint a house, shield a home. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, steel, aluminum, cedar, and more. We are the only coating company selected by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where all 3 episodes concentrate on unpainted brick. If you maintain or own a business with a tired-looking building, you owe it to yourself to look at Rhino Shield and our beautifully durable color schemes. Evaluations are free. We're making buildings pop and be noticed again, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks, exceeding expectations every day with our products, people, and performance. Now is the time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or go to 877-25rhino.com and see how honest and transparent we really are. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The Retirement Advisory Group's been waiting to meet you. Did you know that? Well, I think you might be waiting to meet them as well. Let me tell you a little bit about Bob and Tammy Kershaw, about Thomas Helbig, and our longtime partners here at the Retirement Advisory Group. The number to call right now, 314-993-9494, if you've just been waiting for Anna to say that number again. 993-9494. These are the people who help you transition out of working your tail off. You've built a career. You're proud of it. You're ready to retire. You've dreamt of it. You got grandbabies now. You just want some more of your time and more of your time to go to things you want to do as opposed to having to always be in the grind and make the money. Well, how do you transition? How do you know with confidence when you retire that you're going to have what you need to live that dream in retirement? Starts with making a phone call to the Retirement Advisory Group. 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. The Retirement Key Advisory Group is going to guide you, make you feel comfortable, make you feel confident. Just make a phone call or visit them online, retirementkey.com.
KFTK FM Florissant,
an Odyssey station.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
We have a cold front that's cutting across St. Louis this afternoon. There'll be a couple of fast showers around. It's windy. I think we've primarily hit the high for the day. We'll see a slow drop now as we go through the afternoon. Clear, windy, and cold tonight, 38. Friday, sunny, windy, 51. Saturday, partly sunny. A couple of snow flurries and sprinkles around 43. Sunday, sunny and 38. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Talks between the U.S. and Iran. Secretary of State Marco Rubio now plans to visit next week to Israel to update the prime minister there on 2 rounds of talks.
Even as negotiations continue, the Pentagon is preparing for military action targeting Iran should President Trump order it.
They must make a deal, or if that doesn't happen, I maybe can understand. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But bad things will happen if it doesn't.
The Pentagon has built up forces in the Middle East, including adding a second aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald Ford, from the Caribbean.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The president chairing the first Board of Peace meeting earlier today, announcing the U.S. and 9 other countries committing a combined $17 billion to rebuild Gaza, with several countries also committing troops and police to a stabilization force. He has since moved on to Georgia, visiting a steel plant to talk about the U.S. economy. Just getting word that Virginia's new governor, Abigail Spanberger, will deliver the Democratic response to the president's State of the Union speech next week. Virginia also the setting for the latest lawsuit over new congressional maps as a group of Republicans try to stop a Democrat plan from going to voters.
The Republican National Committee, the National Republican Congressional Committee, and Congress members Ben Cline and Morgan Griffith have filed suit in Virginia alleging state Democrats' efforts to redistrict congressional lines violates the state constitution. The case is before the same judge who's already ruled in a separate suit that the constitutional amendment allowing for a redraw of congressional lines is unlawful. The state Supreme Court ruled the amendment can still proceed to a vote, and early voting begins March 6th. This latest effort asks for an emergency ruling that would stop the vote.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. America is listening to Fox News.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZzzQuil Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZzzQuil Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
We have a cold front that's cutting across St. Louis this afternoon. There'll be a couple of fast showers around. It's windy. I think we've primarily hit the high for the day. We'll see a slow drop now as we go through the afternoon. Clear, windy, and cold tonight, 38. Friday, sunny, windy, 51. Saturday, partly sunny. A couple of snow flurries and sprinkles around 43. Sunday, sunny and 38. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Save 15% off blown-in attic insulation and get a free year of HVAC maintenance. Proper insulation reduces energy costs and strain on your HVAC system and makes your home more comfortable. For a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. YouTube poll for today. What's your reaction to the New York City Mayor Mamdani's tenure so far? Are you disgusted, saddened, supportive, amused? Ryan and Brad both said amused.
Mm-hmm. And I stand by that.
314-241-9797 if you want to text us. 314-241-9797. What do you got over there so far on the text line?
This one says angry because our nation has active communist elements in places of power within our borders. That's a good response.
Angry.
Here's one that says amused. I can't believe there's that many uneducated and stupid voters in New York City. They'll get what's coming to them. Few that are just saying the word, like one just says amused. Another person just says disgusted. All over the place. Lots and lots of comments. I'm trying to sift through all of them.
What do you expect of these four, disgusted, saddened, supportive, or amused? What do you expect to be the lead vote getter here? Do you think that the majority of people like you are looking at New York City going, that's what you get?
Well, I think yes, actually. And I don't think that anybody's happy about that. It's amused because it's just like anything. If you tell somebody before they go out, hey, you're going to have to get your tires checked. Those things are getting, pretty bald. And then they start skidding. You go, well, I told you so. It's like it's the I told you so thing that sort of gives you this amusement, but it's on such a big scale and affects people that you're like, I'm not happy that it's an I told you so, but it is an I told you so because we've seen this happen so many times with communism.
Yeah. I would say there's an element of sadness to it for me as well, because it's like New York is a great city. It's kind of the symbol, one of the symbols of the United States. And they're doing this, and that makes me sad. And it's not going well, and that makes me sad that it's not working and people are suffering. Like you said, trash piled up on the sides because the trash trucks can't get there because they can't clean the streets because of the snow or whatever. It's just always something, and that makes me sad.
I have this Scott Pressler clip. Why is it not a video?
At the end of the video, there's an F-bomb.
Gosh.
Blame it on Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. Well, is it the sound?
The song.
I'm gonna play this clip from Scott Pressler. It's just funny. It's just a funny clip I have to get in here. But before we do that, I sent you guys. We have kind of an off-air. I don't know why it's off-air. It just happens to not get on air. We just kind of laugh at how many things Donald Trump is naming after himself. Everything is being named after himself. Apparently, I guess the Florida legislature has just voted to rename Palm Beach Airport to DJT, Donald J. Trump Airport, which honestly, it's fine with me. He's a 2-term president, has increased his his percentage every time he's run. And there are airports everywhere named after presidents. So I don't have a problem with that. I have a question about New York City. First of all, when we're talking about Mamdani, I really, really, and I say this, and I know this sounds crazy, like who goes from that to that, but I really want to see Donald J. Trump run for mayor of New York City when he's done being the president against Mamdani. He would win.
I want to see him run for governor of Florida.
No, they don't need him. New York City needs Donald Trump.
If he can
they
win.
need to have a Donald J. Trump bat signal that shines in the night sky to show the people that there's hope.
Listen, I like your idea.
I'm not done yet. The first thing that I want him to do when he just a la like renaming everything, I don't want him to rename the Statue of Liberty, but I want him to clean it so that it's gold colored again. I know that it's not gold, but if he like. It's just tarnished.
Like he would step up and go, look, we need to clean this thing.
Yeah,
it's been dirty for too long. We're going to make it gold now.
Turn gold. Put a red tie on that sucker. That would be fun.
Yes, but do you really think a plurality of the voters that just voted for the communist mayor of New York City enough of them would turn and vote for Donald Trump?
Hell no. All the people who didn't vote would.
So you think it's a turnout issue?
For them, I think it's a huge issue.
I'll take that bet on Polymarket.
Okay, that's fine. I did see that the Polymarket, which is, I don't understand it. I know that it's a Twitter feed. That's really the extent.
That's all I know too.
But they deal in odds that it has never looked more likely that Jesus is going to return.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, read your Bible, predict it. It ain't happening when you predict it. So anyway, I got to play the Scott Presler clip before we get to Wiggins America here. He's talking to
when
CNN.
you urge people to action,
Yes.
you often include the word
Peacefully.
Is that to avoid another Jan 6 type incident?
With all due respect, it's to avoid people like you guys saying that I'm anything but.
Da, 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 da.
You guys CNN going, Scott Presler's out there saying peacefully do this because he doesn't want January 6th to happen again. And he's like, no, just witches like you guys.
Just trying to make sure you don't control the narrative
I
about
just
me.
want to be able to have credit for saying that I said it. That's really all it is.
That's great.
So, okay, now I know where the F-bomb came in.
It's right there.
Yeah. All
Da,
right.
da, 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 da.
There's only one thing to do next, and that's to talk about food news with Ryan Wiggins and Wiggins America. Let's do that next.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! Foods you're going to have a tough time getting in 2026, or you have to pay a little bit more for. And I want to see whether you eat these things, whether it will affect you at all.
I bet I ate none of them.
The first
Dave's
one...
Killer Bread.
No, if that was... I'd just lead with that.
I don't even know how much Dave's Killer Bread costs because it's the right bread for me. So
You just buy
it just gets purchased.
I think it's like $6 a loaf.
I don't want to know that. But honestly, $6 a loaf, and how many breakfasts do I get out of that? I'm still coming out ahead.
12?
Okay.
I don't know.
24 slices?
I have no
I
idea.
don't eat the heels. I give those to the dogs.
I have no idea.
Okay.
These are foods that are becoming a little bit more rare or maybe going extinct this year. The first one is
Like
going to be
sloths.
very tough to find. Sloths are not extinct.
They shouldn't be. They're so cute.
Don't get angry and decide to make them extinct. They're nice
Go on a
animals.
sloth rampage. At least I won't be in a hurry.
Sloth. Yeah, you got time.
Yeah, it's casual.
Just take one out here and there as you see them.
I would never.
I know that.
PETA? Radio Wiggins.
No,
Next.
PETA is actually not on this list. PETA bread is going to be fine this year. The ones that are going to be tough to find, Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
Oh, no.
And anything made by Nestle ice cream.
What is your go-to out of the grocery store carton of ice cream? You got one?
Yeah, I do.
Brand and flavor?
I do.
What is it?
Prairie Farms Sherbert.
And
Does
you're
that count?
You're a Sherberter, not a sherbet.
I am a Sherberter.
Yeah.
Yes, not a sherbet or
Sorbet.
There's an R in
What
there.
a
There's
nerds.
2 R's.
It's Prairie Farms Sherbet.
Prairie Farms Sherbert.
Is that orange or is that multi-flavored?
It's multi-flavor. And I like the big carton.
I bet you do.
And I can basically just stick my face in it and just have a night. What?
It's quite a visual. Brad, go to grocery store ice cream purchase.
I don't eat ice cream. I couldn't even tell you. My favorite ice cream flavor is cookie dough, but outside of that, I couldn't even tell you what brand. It doesn't matter.
Real quick, Betsy Miller on YouTube says, Annie, do you toast the bread? I do. Ice cream is Bluebell. That's the big round one, right?
Yeah.
Bluebell.
Bluebell or Blue Bunny?
It's Bluebell. It's not
Okay.
Blue Bunny.
Okay.
We've had Blue Bunny. Bluebell butter pecan.
That's good.
They have the full pecans as opposed to just the crushed up ones.
I actually don't like the full pecans, but I like the taste of their ice cream so
It's
much
because
that
you're
I'll
not
get
refined.
it anyway. No, that's not true. I stick my face in sherbet. But you know what is...
That's what I just said.
You
You're
know
not
what also
refined.
is very true?
What do you mean? That's not true.
It proves it.
I say you're not refined. He says that's not true. I stick my face in sherbet.
I actually don't buy sherbet because I love it so much that I
Restraint.
will eat the whole thing
Yeah.
in 2 days.
Yeah.
And then I feel real bad.
Physically.
Emotionally, I'm doing great.
For a minute.
If I ever feel sad, I know where to turn.
Food news.
It's Prairie Farms.
Prairie Farms. Give
I
me a
wish there
call.
was a tag.
Talk
Prairie Farms.
Talk to us.
Great ice cream, great people.
Low mood.
For your sad days. All right, how about orange juice concentrate? Orange juice in general is being threatened.
I remember the exact Tupperware that we made the orange juice concentrate, open the top of the thing, it goes into the bottom of the Tupperware thing, blue lid, got the flip thing on it, shake it up, and that was orange juice. I remember that. Yeah. Okay. It's just evolving. Keep going.
Okay, baby formula, Annie. No? The 2020s have not been a good decade for baby formula.
Why? Does it exist? Because the last time I had to buy it, I had to go to other counties to find it.
You were right in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Yes,
this
it was.
The
it was
worst.
Ridiculous. I actually feared that I called my pediatrician because Molly was 10 months old when it was not anywhere to be found. And I called my pediatrician and I said, she's 10 months old. She does eat regular foods. Should I stop getting formula for her? Because if you have a newborn that needs that formula, maybe my 10-month-old could be fine if I do some particular types of things or vitamin supplementing. And they're like, no, go find the formula until 12 months. And I had people buying me formula. Jen Teskey bought me some formula from mid-Missouri and put it on my front porch.
That was 2021, wasn't it?
Yep.
2021
into 2022
that's what this says actually.
Yeah.
Is 2021 through 22 was the worst era for finding baby formula because of stupid Biden era closures. They were trying to restrict so many businesses from being open and add so many regulations that this is one area where you saw a lot of closures. The article says thanks to COVID-19, but it was really
Let's
fine
call it what it is.
in 2020 because Trump was trying to keep as many of these places operational as possible, and then Biden came in and closed as many things as he could. And it was like, oh my gosh.
And the Pritzkers of the world. Let's not just put it all on Biden. It was definitely a state-by-state thing.
Absolutely. And then if you recall, there were some fires at some of these facilities in that same time period.
Tucker was doing stories on that, leading me to believe that he was implying that there was some nefarious nature to it.
But this one is actually also related to Nestle. Nestle is shutting down certain aspects of their business, including ice cream, and apparently they are having trouble with a toxin in their baby formula. And so that is causing more problems this year, although I don't think it's going to be anything like it was in 21 and 22. Olive oil. You guys big into olive oil?
Extra virgin.
Yeah.
EVOO, as Rachel Ray would say. In 2025, the USDA predicted that a 10% global olive oil decline was on the way because of just bad crops this year. Frozen cauliflower.
Oh, no.
man.
Is there anything worse than cauliflower? Maybe celery.
No, crusts, pizza crust made with cauliflower.
How about
they're
pizza
pretty
crust? Hear me out. Made with delicious gluten.
Good. Oh, I'll eat those any day. And I pass over cauliflower for real
I
gluten.
was wondering where you're going with passing.
But if you were going to have a gluten-free crust, cauliflower is not bad.
I wasn't.
I'd rather just eat the toppings in a bowl.
That's also gross and not
That
refined.
is way less gross than eating cauliflower crust.
No, it's not.
You're not eating toppings off of piece. I mean, I don't know about piling it up in a bowl and eating it, but if we're talking about that or eating it on cauliflower crust, like what? Why would you not like a bowl of cheese and meat?
He's doing it with no spoon.
He didn't say that.
That's what he implied.
He didn't act like it was sherbet.
Yes, he did. He went like this.
Okay, moving on.
Maple syrup.
Making me want Ethan to come in
that's
here
gonna be
and change the subject.
Unfortunate.
This was another one that was just a difficult year for maple syrup production.
I love maple syrup.
And they're citing that because of
Canada?
our tariffs against Canada, that they don't want to give it to us. But we have quite a bit of production in the Northeast of maple syrup. It was just a bad crop year.
Maple syrup is one of those things that seems really expensive that if it were like extra expensive, I wouldn't notice it. First of all, I'm the only one in the house that eats it. And if the other kids ever try it and they're like, that's good, I'm like, you can't have it. It's got alcohol.
Did you eat the one I got you for Christmas, the sparkle syrup yet?
No.
We haven't opened ours yet either.
No, I don't know about eating things that sparkle.
Oh, it looks so fun, though.
No.
It looks fun.
Yeah.
It's refined.
My wife got maple syrup for the first time this past week. And
She never had pancakes at Cracker Barrel?
No. Well, I don't know.
Now that's good maple syrup.
That's the exposure. That's ground patient zero.
Yeah, she had it and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is so much better."
You get your pocket full of those little maple syrup vials while you're walking.
What are you
out.
doing now?
Get pocket.
What are
full.
you doing with them? You're taking them.
I don't think that register's gonna. I can't. I don't know if I can talk about it hitting the tones, but never mind. It's a little inside baseball. Just do the rest of the show like this.
What are you doing with those maple syrup?
Stealing. I'm keeping the ones that are opened, and the ones that are put on the table, heck yeah.
That is disgusting. I only take the silverware because I am refined.
All right, you win.
Last one is canned tuna.
Oh.
Tuna prices are weak globally, and sales toward the end of 2025 were low, so they pulled back on catching them, and now they think that the reverse is going to happen. It's going to spike prices. So if you're a big fan of canned tuna, get ready to pay out the butt for it.
Gird your loins.
That's the name of this hour.
Ethan, come in here and class up the place a little bit. Sports and Local with Ethan next.
Time, if there's ever a great time to purchase a furnace or an air conditioner. I know it's winter. We got some great pricing. You can get 0% financing. So if you have been told that you need a new furnace, definitely give me a call. I could probably save you lots of money. Get a second opinion. Call me. Next day installs for your furnace so you won't be without heat. Very long. A furnace average install about 2-3 hours for a furnace. So not a big issue to do it now. And like I said, great pricing. So if that's you, call me. It's Bart Inman. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. Just the easiest number. And there's one. 314-293-2600. Again, 314-293-2600. Or on the internet, it is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
Lifestyles Unlimited is a real estate education group that gives you the roadmap and resources to start building income through real estate. You'll learn practical strategies for using investment properties to create extra income and make informed decisions, one step at a time. Join today for just $297. That's a 60% savings off the regular price of our real estate education program. Text RADIO to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings, up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, it's Mark Cox inviting you to join me September 30th as we discover the charm of Switzerland, Austria, and Germany with Colette Travel. Spend 4 nights in Bern and then 4 nights at the foot of the Alps in Innsbruck. From the cobblestone streets to the postcard-worthy mountain landscapes of the amazing Alps, we're going to explore the Swiss capital of Bern and lovely Lucerne, the Swiss paradise on the lake. We'll travel the Austrian countryside to Salzburg with a visit to Mozart's birthplace, and then Mirabelle Gardens featured in The Sound of Music. This and so much more. Colette handles all the details. The flights, the meals, the hotels, the local experiences. All you have to do is have the time of your life. Don't miss this trip. Meet me and the folks from Colette to learn more at the Lodge at De Pere, Tuesday, February 24th at 2 p.m. Call Colette at 800-581-8942 or go to 971talk.com/events for details.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
The Annie Fry Show is St. Louis conservative.
Hold up. Check it out.
Sports and Local.
Listen as Ethan shares stories with deep biblical allegory.
treading on
It
blasphemy.
doesn't matter how many times I hear these. Every single time they just get me again.
It's saying that this whole segment is you're like the C.S. Lewis of sports and local.
Oh my gosh.
It's quite a praise.
Of sports.
All right, Wormwood, let's go.
Oh boy, the Mizzou Tigers had a crazy win last night. They were facing off against the 19th ranked team in the country, the Vanderbilt Commodores. And at one point in this game, they had a 21-point lead. They were
Sounds like
putting
that was
a
almost not enough.
full beat down on the commies. Mizzou against the commies. Well, they almost
Right
lost
now is
this
a good
league.
time to remind you of the YouTube live chat poll.
Mhm.
What's your reaction to New York City Mayor Mamdani's tenure so far?
I
Brought to you
did
by
that on purpose.
Ethan.
Mizzou.
C.S. Lewis. Ethan Lewis. Well, it got a little bit more narrow than 21. They ended up winning this game 81-80, and it almost became one of the greatest
collapses.
Yes, good word, Annie.
What did they start? Were they screwing around?
Vanderbilt just started hitting shots.
See,
and
that's
they
what
just
commies do.
Couldn't miss. They could not miss.
It looks really good for a minute, and then it crashes
was
and
ugly.
burns.
It got
yeah?
really ugly for a few minutes there.
You go up 21 points, and then all of a sudden you're Meadowlark Lemons. You're just goofing.
I don't get it.
I don't either. With 6 seconds left, Vanderbilt traveled down the court, down by 4. They hit a 3 with 2 seconds left.
And the Americans won in the end.
Up by 1, Mizzou inbounds it to half court. It's stolen. Vanderbilt shoots from half court, and it rims out.
Oh, communism so close.
That's how close communism was to taking over Columbia, Missouri.
Let it be a lesson to you people.
Yeah.
What's the lesson, Ryan?
I don't think anybody even knows who won the game.
Mizzou won.
Mizzou
America won.
I think we've confused the people.
Vanderbilt
What you need to
lost.
take away here is that communism sucks.
Mm-hmm. If they had made that shot, they would have confiscated all the land within 30 miles of Columbia and
Vanderbilt
shared
would
it
be
among
like,
the people.
This is ours now, but yours as well, but only if you ask nicely.
Right. And really, the government comes out the winner if they make that shot. Because it's not the people. They always say it's the people.
All right. Yes, this is a sports segment, folks. We're trying to make ends meet. Go on.
So, we talk a decent amount here on Ethan Sports and Local about the current state of the city of St. Louis. And I feel like this article that I found from Fox 2 summarizes the quality of our city pretty well. There is a tour guide out there for seaside tours in St. Louis named Roger that has recently found and noticed that there are several statues throughout the city that have just gone missing. They're just gone.
Wait, really?
He's a tour guide?
Yes.
He's like, and if you look to your left,
He's like,
holy crap!
That was Casimir Pulaski, but now it's just a stand.
Illinois took him.
This past week, he noticed a sculpture honoring a St. Louis author, Kate Chopin, had been removed from its stand on the northwest corner of North Euclid and McPherson Avenues in the Central West End.
Ryan, your favorite contributor there, a little bit of her work?
Kate Chopin?
Yeah.
I only have the best of Chopin. So I like it all, but
Do you have her statue?
no, I would never take something like that.
That didn't sound confident.
Surveillance images showed an individual removing the bust and riding away on a bicycle early Saturday morning.
People in St. Louis are thieving
kidding
statues
me?
on bikes.
What? They're probably just scrapping the metal. They're not even taking it for any sort of good reason.
Got any copper in there?
There's more. In October, Roger discovered that a plaque honoring publisher Joseph Pulitzer was missing just outside the steps of the old courthouse facing the Gateway
Now,
Arch.
why would you even take that?
It's
Pretty
a plaque.
soon, someone's going to pocket the arch.
It was a plaque commemorating where Joseph Pulitzer bought the St. Louis Post-Dispatch at auction in 1878.
Like Pulitzer?
Yes.
Okay.
A spokesperson for the Gateway Arch National Park confirmed the plaque was stolen in October of 2025 and stated, "Our law enforcement rangers are conducting an investigation and the park is planning to
I'm
replace
sure.
this plaque." Last week, Roger discovered another missing tribute outside of Busch Stadium.
Roger is a St. Louis hero.
They didn't take stand, did they?
Somebody had stolen the plaque off of the Rogers Hornsby statue.
Are you kidding me? This
now
is
you've
crazy.
crossed the line.
The Cardinals confirmed that the team is working with police to identify anyone responsible and plans to replace the plaque. A team spokesperson said it appeared there were attempts to remove other plaques, but added those attempts were unsuccessful. Rogers simply was quoted saying, "Knock it off. Just find a different way to get money.
Got to get
You're
Yadier
stealing our
Molina out
culture and
there to keep
history."
people from stealing.
Unbelievable.
Now, the Rogers Hornsby, that's crazy. Because if you took the Pulitzer
You're like,
one, you could say,
Pulitzer,
I got a prize, you know? Hey, it's funny.
Shut up.
You make a joke about it.
Ethan's the one who ends the segment with a shut up.
Just doing what I'm told.
Annie, are you okay with Trisha in studio? Next, don't go away. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. Call 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. Matt Hayes is waiting for your phone call. He wants to help you out. It's pretty simple. Your foundation has an issue. He has a solution, but you need to know exactly what solution would be catered to your needs. When you hire Home Shield Foundation Repair, you're hiring local St. Louisans, not somebody who came in from out of town, scooped up something, and just made it their own. Home Shield Foundation Repair is Matt Hayes' baby. He has grown it. He has the expertise, decades of experience of solving foundation problems like yours, and he's built something pretty special here in St. Louis. So if you're interested in finding a solution to your foundation problem, the wet basement issue you've been experiencing, uneven, cracked concrete as we get towards the warmer months here, and you want that patio to finally be leveled out so you stop stubbing your toe when you're walking around your pool, whatever it is, 314-271-9900. Call Matt Hayes, HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
According to MasterCard, nearly half of small businesses have been a victim of a cyber attack. As cybercrime escalates, ThrottleNet is calling on businesses to strengthen their security posture by taking a free online IT security audit right from your desk. This 3-minute online assessment provides an immediate score to see security gaps and vulnerabilities in your network. For 26 years, ThrottleNet has supported your business IT everything right here in St. Louis. In fact, no client of ThrottleNet has ever paid a ransom. So visit throttlenet.com/971 to take the free assessment today.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
The YouTube live chat poll today is, what is your reaction to New York City Mayor Mamdani's tenure so
Mine is,
far? Which could be disgusted or supportive if you're excited. Anyway, that's two of them. Saddened and Amused are the other two. A couple of comments here. One is from Blues Lifer, says very amused. Paul says definitely. I would assume that he's saying supportive. Let's see how Mayor Mamdani's policies play out. He's already addressed child care issues and coordinated smoothly with the governor of New York.
Paul, that's just factually completely the opposite of true. What are you even talking about? He said he's holding the governor hostage and saying you got to raise taxes across the state to pay for our crap that we've said is going to be free, but as I recall, it's going to be included. And he hasn't provided any of these things because he hasn't gotten the funding for it yet because there's a huge deficit. So he said that his solution is to raise taxes, property taxes on New York State residents, city residents, 9.5%, and people are pissed about it. Paul, what are you talking about? I don't understand that.
He says He's already addressed childcare issues and coordinated smoothly with the governor of New York. What is your comment?
Why does the governor of New York saying, no, they're not doing that? Paul.
It is, okay. It is 2:34.
Paul.
This time check is sponsored by...
Not Paul.
Okay.
But we appreciate his support of the show.
Jerry Kelly, heating, air conditioning, electrical, and plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
From Festus to Freeburg, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. The YouTube poll, as he just mentioned, we want to know how you feel about Mamdani. You can text us as well at 314-241-9797. And a reminder, you can stream us on the Odyssey app all day, anywhere. AUDACY, find 97.1 FM Talk. You can also, I think, like favorite or heart or something, the Annie Fry Show. Whatever it is, you should do it. That's the best I got.
Do a video of yourself doing it like this.
That's great radio.
Heart.
Look like this when you do it. I am not okay with that. Annie, are you okay?
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Welcome, Trisha.
Hello, Annie and crew. Hi. Woo! Scientists.
One of those days, Trisha.
Well, I'm gonna just lean into it.
Trisha, did you know that 1 in 5 truck drivers in the state of Illinois have been illegally issued driver's license? Just want to make sure you know that.
That was not on my radar.
Of course
although
she knew that.
It does not surprise me.
Are you okay with it?
Does it matter? Scientists make smart underwear to track your gas. I'm here to talk about the things that do. Researchers at the University of Maryland have invented smart underwear that measure flatulence in hopes of better understanding how often people fart.
They thought it was like 14 times per day, but it's more like 32.
The underwear features a snap-in device that tracks intestinal gas production around the clock. The university says the device, which detects hydrogen, is like a glucose monitor, but for internal
But not glucose.
gas. Nope, for farts. Annie, are you okay with smart underwear?
I'm actually in a position where I would just really like to know less in this instance. I don't. Can you imagine your app going off? Your watch just gives you a little buzz.
So what's that alert sound like?
Yeah, that's that. Loud.
I
Flatulence.
I imagine there's like a medical purpose for this, but I don't know if there's like a commercial marketplace where people are going to be gathering in the Best Buy section of smart underwear. They're like, ooh, a thong? I didn't have you for that.
Now, can this connect to my thermometer?
Why do you have a thermometer there?
You know, everything's smart.
No, I don't know anything
Connect to
right
my
now.
fridge, too?
No, I don't have much more.
Fine, keep your dumb underwear.
I will. No more comments about my underwear on this show. Thanks.
Pepsi launches a new prebiotic cola. In keeping with the gut theme here, PepsiCo is ushering in what it calls the next era of cola by adding 2 flavors of Pepsi prebiotic cola nationwide, original and cherry vanilla.
Cola Nation?
Cola Nation.
Cola
nationwide.
I'm a big
they
fan
missed
of
an
like
opportunity
clever naming things, but that makes me want to drink it less.
So the first story was about postbiotics. This
Yeah.
one's about prebiotics.
Prebiotics, yeah, full coverage. Pepsi's prebiotic.
Unlike Ryan's.
What are you saying? That it only has partial coverage?
I don't want to talk about your underwear either. I
Ryan's
want to talk
smart
about your
thong.
underwear less than I want to talk about my underwear. You and your banana
The
hammock can
insult
keep
didn't
to
even
yourself.
make any sense. Ryan's underwear is only partial coverage.
It wasn't an insult. It was just a statement to make people uncomfortable.
Well, it worked.
Thank you. Anyway, Pepsi's prebiotic soda flavors each contain 3 grams of prebiotic fiber, according to the company, in addition to 5 grams of sugar for a total of just 30 calories and the same 38 milligrams of caffeine found in a regular can of Pepsi. Annie, are you okay with Pepsi?
Pepsi, zero sugar, my favorite soda. Try to drink not much of it because I'm trying not to drink soda and I'm trying to drink water. I do like prebiotic drinks, though. There's an Olipop that I like. I like that idea. I am not somebody who seeks out and eats a ton of meat, so I'm constantly looking for things that have protein in them and also prebiotic stuff. So I eat a lot of Greek yogurt. I'm always asking myself though, like if this has like 80 grams of protein in it, is that protein healthy for me? I don't know the answer to that. So like you create something, a mechanism to deliver whatever the trendy health thing is, which is right now, I would say protein and pre and probiotics. And I see that and I want it because that's the way I can get it in my system without the more natural ways that I don't prefer. But then I'm wondering, like, is RFK Jr. gonna judge me because I'm using a like chemically fabricated version of the thing that I tell my kids, if God made it, you can eat it, food-wise, not trees.
Do you think he's judging you personally?
Probably.
I agree.
I would.
I do.
Yeah.
Showering in the dark is gaining popularity.
I'm for it.
Experts agree there are potential benefits of warm shower or bath in the dark before bed. The reason behind the dark showering trend is linked to light and its relationship with the human body's circadian rhythm. Put simply, bright, natural light helps you wake up, while dim, dark environments help you go to sleep, says the National Sleep Foundation. Annie, are you okay? It seems like you are with showering in the dark.
Yes, I prefer it, especially when you have children, especially the younger ones. They're kind of growing out of this, but not all of them. Shower door, glass shower door. In our master bath, the shower door is right across from the toilet, and they just come in and sit and talk to you while you're showering, and it just is what it is. If I have the light off and then the closet light on and the door a little crack so I can kind of tell what I'm doing in there, I love a hot shower in the dark. Yes, please.
I tried doing one of those float rooms one time. You ever do one of those? Where you go in and you just sit there for an hour in like shallow water and it plays ambient music.
Is it
and
salt water? Is it like super thick salt water?
Yeah.
Which is why you
and
float?
you float on top of it.
I'd like to do that.
It sounded cool. And then I did it and I was like,
Did you sink?
So bored.
Like how long? You were alone with your creepy thoughts? How do you think I feel every day?
Yeah, I know. I felt bad for you when I was doing the float room.
Don't think about me when you're doing that.
I didn't.
Okay.
And then, wait a minute. I think I got trapped in my words. Because I said I didn't.
How long
but then
were
right
you lay?
before
How
that,
long
I
were you
told
supposed
I
to lay
told-
there?
felt bad. It was an hour. It was a full hour.
Did you stay the whole hour?
Yeah, because I paid for it.
Were you like more stressed when you got out of it?
No, I was just talkative. Like, hey, tell me a little bit about these float rooms.
To yourself? You had people
No,
there?
to the people that were running the thing.
In
Like,
there
tell
with
me
you?
about how you run your business here. It was like, oh, I'm not becoming my parents progressive.
Were you naked?
I can't remember. Maybe.
Oh, did you black out?
Yeah, it was. There's in my memory. There's like a black box over my groin, so I can't remember. I blocked it out,
Just like the FC files.
Yeah.
Redacted.
Yeah, it was redacted from my memory.
I don't even know what we're talking about. Oh my gosh. I would like to do one of those float rooms. You ever done those, Trisha?
I have not, but the idea actually sounds kind of terrible. I love a good massage. I love a spa. But if I'm Ryan and I'm 3 minutes into this thing and I know I've got an hour and I have no concept of time, it's some kind of torture, isn't it?
Don't you? You have to quiet your mind.
Yeah, you do, and it's bad. I was thinking
I
about
don't think it's for
sketches
me.
and stuff. Like, what if there was a guy named Rigor Morty who was dead, but he was real stiff and he walked around?
No, it's too close to Rick and Morty. I guess I can't do that.
Oh, yeah.
I've still got
Or is it
56
just
minutes.
close enough?
Rigor Morty
You've got
doesn't
the
know that he's dead.
Help people. Okay, I'll just be quiet. Next. I'm just going to say something.
Don't. Sorry. I can come back.
You like Rigor Morty, didn't you?
Rigor Morty. You got
Solid
something there.
concept.
Mhm.
Ryan, I did have you pegged as a floater.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't sink.
Nantucket wastewater tests show cocaine levels nearly triple the national average.
I once knew a man from Nantucket.
No, you
8
didn't.
months of wastewater surveillance data from the picturesque Massachusetts island shows cocaine levels consistently and significantly above the national average.
In the water?
Yep, with peaks reaching nearly 3 times the typical U.S. concentration.
The drinking water?
The sewage water. Like they test.
So not the drinking
not,
water.
I hope not. They test the sewage water, apparently, and they found a lot of cocaine up there.
I once knew a man from Nantucket, told him to stop doing cocaine. He
And
told
said,
me.
I don't know.
No, he got his life right. He said he would.
Oh, okay. I thought that he said
Yeah.
everybody's doing it up here. The data, I think this probably goes without saying, does not identify individuals or specific neighborhoods, but apparently they're doing a lot of cocaine up there. Annie, are you okay with cocaine in the sewers?
What about clowns?
Is this multiple choice?
Nope.
I'm trying
Yay
to...
or nay on cocaine in the sewers?
And then clowns.
For my future political career, I'm going to have to come out against it.
Bold take.
Clowns doing cocaine in the sewers.
Tricky question. This is sometimes they got the gotcha questions and you can stumble pretty easily.
Libertarian, would you allow clowns to do cocaine in the sewers if they weren't hurting anybody?
I don't have an opinion on it.
That is correct.
Nomination secured.
Great. Good stuff, guys.
Great.
Was that your long story?
Was that the one?
We wrapped that one up with a bow.
That was the short one before the really long one. Do you want me to get into the long one? Do you have time for it?
Is it a long one? I was going to say.
This is like...
Never mind.
No.
I was going to try to link that to, is it a floater?
No. Yes. Trisha. No.
Yeah.
No Ryan.
No?
No Ryan.
Okay.
Yes, Trisha.
Okay.
Man who lived rent-free in New Yorker hotel, then claimed to own it, pleads
Mamdani?
guilty to fraud.
Oh.
A New York City man who attempted to claim ownership of the New Yorker hotel has pleaded guilty to fraud.
Is a squatter?
A lengthy legal saga. It's even weirder. A lengthy legal saga involving an obscure tenant law that allowed the man to live rent-free for years. So this guy, Mickey Barretto, entered the plea on Wednesday admitting that he had forged property records in an effort to take ownership of the hotel.
Classic Mickey.
But back in 2018, he and his partner rented a room for $200, then requested a lease claiming the one-night stay entitled him to protections under a city housing law. Hotel pushed back, took it to court, but they didn't send a lawyer, so he actually got legal ownership of the one room. So they were like, yeah, this guy owns it, fine. However, that wasn't enough for him. He uploaded a fake deed to the city website and attempted to collect rent from the other hotel guests. That's when he got in trouble. He was eventually evicted and charged with multiple counts of felony fraud. He was later found unfit to stand trial. Annie, I told you it was long. Are
It's
you
all right.
okay?
We still got 14 minutes.
With New York.
City or the state?
City.
Yeah. I think New York City is... I've been there one time. We were there for 4 days, and we were like, let's be hardcore tourists as much as we possibly can. Because I went, my husband went, and my former producer Katie went, and we had all three had never been before, never experienced anything like that. We're like, let's just do all of the touristy things and soak up as much of that as we possibly can. And it was so magnificent to take in. When I was, by the time about, 3 days in, we had a half day left there. We were like, I just want to see grass and power lines. We
And an Applebee's.
Yeah, sure. Give me a 2 for $25. I was so craving stillness, like to just be able to look out and see something not being so busy. So I was there for 4 days and it was enough, but I would not trade those. I would like to go back for another weekend, but I would not want to spend a full week taking in all the New York City stuff. It would be too much for me.
I wouldn't ever go there and try to collect rent from a bunch of people that I didn't own the building from.
Well, that's because you're lazy.
It's way too much fake paperwork.
That's a lot of effort and a lot of work. I don't know. I think it's a great city and I love it. It's just like when I went there, I'm like, I am a country girl. Like I've always known that I'm a country girl. You know, we want to build our house where we're kind of on our own a little bit. We want space. And you think those things, but it's nice to be within a 10-minute or less drive from your Target or Walmart or your grocery store or whatever. So I want to be able to be connected, but I do want a little bit of space. And then you go in where everything is right there, like everything. Anything you can think of at any given time of the day is there. And I'm like, I don't need it. I don't want it. I'll visit it, but I don't want it. You guys like New York City?
I've only been once for 1 day.
1 day? What'd you do?
I was there for business, so I didn't get to do much. I saw Times Square,
but
that's about it.
What about you, Brad?
I've never been, so I couldn't say that I like it. It doesn't sound appealing to me, but I feel like I need to go to see it at least once.
Yeah, you gotta dip your toe in it and then come back home. All right, thank you, Trisha. Thank you. YouTube poll, what's your reaction to New York City Mayor Mamdani's tenure so far? Go vote. Send us a text at 314-241-9797. Back in a minute. Don't go away.
President Trump's State of the Union address.
We are going to be surrounded by a liberal media. I am happy to have you there to be that conservative voice.
Sponsored by Corel Roofing and Golden Oak Lending.
How about all text? You focus on the road.
As a passenger, you have the power to prevent an accident. There are 1,000 ways to stop a distracted driver. Choose one.
A message from CTIA.
When it comes to lighting, Graybar goes beyond parts and products. We help contractors turn plans into smart designs, manage kitting and deliverables, and navigate local codes so you can stay on time and on budget. Smart, scalable, job site ready. That's not just lighting. That's like kicking your project into Graybar mode. Yep, Graybar does that.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The Colonel despised the word empty. Empty plates, empty tables, empty stomachs. That's why he made the KFC $5 bowls, like the famous bowl. Creamy mashed potatoes, crispy chicken, corn, gravy, and cheese. Because the only empty the Colonel liked was when you reached the bottom of that bowl. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. 5 KFC bowls for just $5 each.
Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with at Rain-X. Is it even possible to humble brag when you bully Mother Nature like we do? Do we sound too conceited if we keep repeating how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America? No, we'll take a lesson from our wipers and just keep doing our job with humility. As America's #1 wiper blade. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Doesn't it feel like you hear all the time from retired friends and family, I wish someone had told me this before I retired? Or why didn't anybody tell me this? Why is this not a class? Well, that's exactly why Financial and Tax Architects was founded. FTA keeps hardworking families in St. Louis make sense of retirement. They show them how to keep more of what they've earned and how to make it last. That way you can get some sleep at night. You don't have to second guess every expense leading up to retirement. You understand what's going on. Their Retirement Planning 101 class is a practical, no-cost course. They teach it at local colleges. It's just one night. You learn strategies to reduce taxes, plan your income, make confident decisions about Social Security and taxes and inflation. And FTA focuses on education. They try to change the way you retire. Call 888-5101 or go to fta-ria.com to register.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Police say they took the brother of King Charles into custody on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Officers reportedly arrived at the royal estate in eastern England earlier this morning to make the arrest of the former prince, who turns 66 years old today. Andrew is in custody, and investigators are carrying out searches at addresses in Berkshire and Norfolk. Police are releasing this statement in part without naming Andrew, by the way, saying, quote, "Following a thorough assessment, we have now opened an investigation into this allegation of misconduct in public office, an offense that carries up to life in prison in the UK, by the way." We're still waiting more details of this breaking news, but this comes after Andrew was stripped of his royal title last October over ties to convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, and after Thames Valley Police said they were assessing a complaint over the alleged sharing of confidential material by the former prince with the late sex offender. The former prince has consistently denied any wrongdoing. Misconduct in public office refers to, quote, serious, willful abuse or neglect of powers relating to the role of public office. We shall see what comes of this. It's a developing story, as you guys know, so we'll keep our viewers updated.
So Prince Andrew arrested today. I guess this is the first arrest post-Epstein files released of all of the things. Like, that's the one name that everybody knew going into this was totally in on the Epstein thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess, they arrested him. That's good that they did that. So I'm not going to, disparage the fact that they actually did provide that arrest. But I'm ready to see a lot more arrests here. Fox News reported an hour ago Andrew's arrest triggers standard police booking procedures, including a custody photo, fingerprints, DNA sample, according to the BBC. If held longer than 6 hours, the ex-prince must be transferred to a designated custody suite. Secure facilities designed to centralize suspects for questioning while ensuring proper care. The outlet also reported that while cells are basic, they meet welfare standards. Okay, yeah, we're all concerned about his comfort. A little bit more from Fox in the last hour. It says 2019, Jeffrey Epstein was arrested again on charges of sex trafficking and later died by apparent suicide. Prince Andrew's ties to the disgraced financier again came under scrutiny as allegations that the then prince had sex with at least one underage teenager trafficked by Epstein came to light. That was in 2019. That was a long time ago. Now, just a reminder for all the release the files people who think it's only about Donald Trump. That happened in 2019. The Epstein files were in the possession of the Joe Biden administration for all 4 years. An arrest is happening right now. Is it on time? No. Is it too late? Yes. Is it Donald Trump that's been hesitating to do this? No. Get your facts straight.
Prince Andrew was the third child of Queen Elizabeth.
So Queen Elizabeth is Prince Andrew's mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have no palace intrigue. I have no interest. Like, the only reason why I'd be interested in this story is because it's an arrest. It's a fallout from the Epstein files being released and people finally getting to the place where they're actually being held accountable. Couldn't care less about the royal family. I don't have a disrespect for it. It's just not my thing. Hopefully we see more arrests here very soon. The YouTube live chat poll for today. What's your reaction to New York City Mayor Mamdani's tenure so far? Disgusted, saddened, supportive, or amused? Brad?
I am still amused.
I remain amused.
I'm disgusted, and I feel kind of guilty thinking about being amused because I know that there are actual real consequences to people. But, like, guys, you got to be better than this. You got to not vote for this. You are getting what you voted for. You need to do better. 236 votes today. 5% of you are supportive. So you outkicked the 3 to 4% that I predicted. 21% sad, 28% amused, 47%, ironically, disgusted. Mark Reardon next.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Ethos.
Your kids will learn lifelong lessons from youth sports and activities, but it should not come at the expense of your financial well-being.
Don't sacrifice your future retirement